Martinez, she'll take it all the way, lay it up and in. Big alley.
The following is a production by the students and staff at Lubbock ISD TV.
Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Lubbock High, Monterey, Coronado, and Estacado. All of them are perennial playoff contenders, wreaking havoc to every name on their schedule.
Oh, what a ball! What a score!
Elite? Yeah. A tradition of winning? But when did that tradition start? Was it the state championships that laid the foundation? The district titles that come on an annual basis? Or none of that at all? Maybe it's something more. And tonight, we are going to find out because the Boys of Fall are back. Presented by Lubbock ISD TV.
And with that, we welcome you back to Lowry Field. After years of playing 6A football, there's a new team invading the South Plains as a district rival. As Lubbock ISD TV Sports Network brings us the Plainsmen from Monterey and the Eagles from Abilene for the 26th time, these two teams are going to square off. But this one, well, of course, it means a little bit more, right? It's a district game, yeah? Devin Ward here alongside Jonas Ormond. Jonas, of course, is a freshman at Monterey, and I think that's really cool that we got a ninth grader up here in the booth with us. Thanks for joining us.
It's incredible to be a ninth grader. I know a lot of people don't have the opportunity to go to the ATC at my age, and honestly, a lot of people talk to me, and they're just like, how are you at the ATC? I know they just got the badge from somebody else. And it's like, well, no, I didn't. I worked to be here, and I just love working in the class that I got, and I'm super glad that I have this opportunity.
We're super glad to have you here. I'm gonna hand them this paper.
Thank you.
Both of these teams are 2-2 on the season. Both of these teams started 2-0 and have dropped 2 consecutive games. So both of them are coming in hungry and eager to get district play started on a right note. And for Abilene, the Eagles are soaring here into Lubbock with some big-time talent on their roster. And starting off is number 1 for them. He is simply electric.
He is the sophomore sensation. He is a dog. He has already had an offer from Tech, and honestly, that's crazy. As a sophomore, already 2 years out, that's incredible. And when you watch this tape, you can see why. He is one of the running backs, receivers, and quarterbacks on this team, and he will dance any defender out of their shoes. He's shifty, he can run, and just simply stated, the guy can flat out play, and he is a big threat for the Eagles.
Absolutely. Of course, that's Braden Henry, number 1 for them. Another name you need to know is the tight end for them, and that's Trey Simpson. Simpson causes a lot of problems for defensive coordinators and gives them a lot of headaches, and the secondary is going to have to play big time today to be able to contain Henry, Simpson, and the whole slew of Eagles that can spread the ball out. And so that's a name you need to know along with many others. Now on the other side of the field, the home team tonight, we welcome back the Monterey Plainsmen once again here at Lowry Field, and we're going to start with cha-ching Cash Lewis. We talked about how the secondary needs to have a big game for Monterey. He's a pivotal part of that secondary, but he's also a pivotal part of the offense. When he gets the ball, he can be a home run threat on the offensive side of the ball. So we hope, if you're a Plainsman fan, you hope to see him have a big game. Another name is Jamarcus Smith. He continues to shine, and I know you have some stats on him over here.
But this young man is just incredible. He is the game himself. He has a game that's just unmatched. The Plainsmen are special on offense. He will line up a receiver, and he will just take off as the running back. And this is the backup quarterback for the team, but after 4 games, he's also the leading back in terms of yards per game with 154 yards per game. That's just incredible. He has 6 touchdowns this season, and he is the emotional leader that helps drive the team. Look for number 17 as he plays a pivotal role in this game.
I like what you said there. He's the emotional leader. When you're on that sideline with Monterey and the Plainsmen, he's the guy that brings the juice. Number 17 plays a big part of this game, and he needs to have a big game tonight. Are you ready? You ready, Jonas?
Let's go.
Let's do this. We have a football game for us tonight. It's the district opener for the Monterey Plainsmen. It's the Eagles and the Plainsmen. Who do you got? We're going to find out soon. Stay with us. We'll be right back with kickoff right after this.
Hello, my name is Emma. My name is Lily.
My name is Henry.
And I'm one of the many Lubbock ISD TV students
learning professional broadcast skills right now.
But we also do a lot more.
We have many student-produced shows
that allow us to grow our video storytelling,
producing, and hosting skills.
You can check out our work at any time at LubbockISDTV.com.
Or follow us on your favorite social media platform. We're on Facebook,
Twitter,
or X, or whatever they call it.
Whatever they call it nowadays.
Instagram, and don't forget Threads.
And of course,
Lubbock ISD YouTube channel.
if you like our content, please show us.
By hitting that thumbs up button.
Even better, share our stories so people can see the great things happening in Lubbock ISD.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Now back to the game.
All right, kickoff moments away. It's going to be the Eagles kicking things off tonight. Of course, it's Devin Ward, Jonas Armand, and of course the entire Lubbock ISD TV crew. We thank you. It's round 2 tonight here at Lowry Field at Plains Capital Park. We had a doubleheader here. Of course, we had a 4 o'clock game with Lubbock High and Andrews, and now we have the Eagles from Abilene getting ready to kick things off against Monterey. Of course, we wouldn't be able to do this without the commitment of our students. Of course, Jonas, it's his first time in the booth, and we're pumped to have him. Oh, a rough kickoff, and the Abilene Eagles are going to recover. Monterey muffed it at about the 26-yard line, and the Eagles get a turnover on the first kickoff of the game.
Ugh, a little rough to watch from the Plainsmen, but great play from the Eagles.
Absolutely. They jumped on that ball and pounced on it, and were able to capitalize on a little mishap here. You see it on the instant replay here, Jonas. They got a hand on it, trying to gather it in, but the Eagles swarmed to that football, or rather soared to that football, and now they're going to have the drive at the 27-yard line.
It's the egg. They got to protect their baby.
So here comes this offense for the first time tonight. Of course, we had a lot of great things that we previewed coming into this game, but it's Dylan Slack that is going to be leading this offense tonight. We thank everybody for tuning in here on the Lubbock ISD YouTube channel. Slack's going under the air here on first down. It's going to be completed and running. And going to be scoring or down at the 1-yard line. Jackson Howell, great catch and great elusive there.
It was a crazy breakthrough. They were right there, and just in time, the Plainsmen defensive just caught him and put him down at that 1-yard mark.
Right, a great run here and great block there on the side by Braylon Baden to allow that open space there for him, and now they're at the 1-yard line. It's first and goal, and we're just 27 seconds into this game. My apologies there, it's Badon. So here come the Eagles, first and goal, second play of the game. They're gonna line up in the I formation. They love to line up in the 12 personnel. It's a handoff. Oh, and stuffed at the line, still fighting and scratching and clawing. And it's going to come up about a half-yard short. Tip your cap to the Monterey defense there for standing tall.
Monterey defense just absolutely stopped him. In those moments, it's like trying to stop a truck that's just full force coming at you. And that's one of the great things about watching the Plainsmen. And out of nowhere, they'll pull the just craziest moves and stop these amazing plays that could possibly lead in a huge mental disadvantage in the beginning of the game. And as they stop this more and more, it's just going to be better as they move on.
So there's some pre-snap movement by the Eagles, and immediately the right tackle over there is doing 5 push-ups. That's kind of cool to see. We're going to hear from Kelly.
Number 77, 5-yard penalty, to a second down.
So Kelly Robinson is our white hat for tonight. Kelly had a great pregame speech to the captains that came out saying that there's going to be knuckleheads on both sides. It's up to the captains to make sure that they stay in line. And I was like, that sounds like something Kelly would say, just knowing him personally. So here we are, 2nd and 6 now instead of 2nd and 1 from the goal line. I like what you said there moments ago, Jonas, about it's like stopping a truck going full force, right? Because that's the goal line situations. That's what they go for.
And it's just huge pressure in that moment. It's just one ball and millions of dudes just crawling all over you.
Braden Henry, give him 6. Touchdown, Eagles. It was the direct snap and the quarterback keeper. And Henry, the sophomore quarterback, takes it in for the score. You see here, great blocking by his lineman and the wide receiver leading to that gap along the outside. And the star that we previewed pregame finds the pay dirt.
Number 1 is that dog we were talking about, and he found that little opening and just made it right into the end zone.
And when you say dog, right, that's the Deion Sanders kind of term, right? He's a guy that's going to go out there and play. If he was playing for Deion Sanders, he would wear the D on his jersey because he's that kind of player. He's special. He makes plays, and it's something that it's going to take it can take the Eagles pretty far in this district and maybe even beyond.
Star player right there, if you ask me.
Absolutely, and that's what coaches look for. Now, series record. This series dates back to 1956. The Eagles won 3 straight against the Plainsmen starting in 56. They paused, Jonas, for over 3 decades before they came back in 1990. It was a consistent battle between these two teams all the way up until 2007. After another short pause, here we are again. Tonight is the 26th rendition of these two teams playing. Abilene High currently holds the series record 17-8.
They were out for so many years, and we already got a touchdown from them in the first almost minute and a half of the game.
Yeah, they moved quick right there. Of course, the turnover, it was the kickoff, muffed by Monterey, recovered in prime territory, leading to a 3-play touchdown drive for the Eagles. So here's the kickoff team again, and it's a pooch kick attacking Cash Lewis right here, and Lewis will gather it in. He's trying to go to that opposite sideline. He's got some blockers in front of him. And he's going to be tackled at the 50-yard line, maybe the 49. The Plainsmen, similar to the Eagles on the last drive, Jonas, will be starting in great territory.
That was a lot of ground covered right there. We could see Lewis trying to go on the outside, trying to get a little bit of a break from number 29 right there, and then just barely missed it.
Yeah, Stephen Reese makes that tackle right there. Of course, Cash Lewis, he's one of the star receivers for Monterey, and he's got some really breakout speed. Hey, I want to thank everybody as we get ready to watch the Monterey offense come out on the field for the first time tonight for watching on our YouTube channel. Currently, we're north of 200 people tuning in tonight, and Jonas, that's pretty awesome. You know, we live in a world, Jonas, and I didn't mean to cut you off because I know you had a thought right there, that all these fake links are out there, fake broadcasts. We're legit, and we're trying to get the word out there to tell all the folks out in Abilene, or if you're a Plainsman fan, share the link and let everybody know that we're broadcasting this tonight.
Absolutely. The more people you can get watching, the more it supports LISD TV and what we're trying to do. And it's just incredible being able to watch these football teams, these up-and-coming athletes, these people that just put in, the coaches, they just put in a lot of their time, and it's really awesome to get to watch them do their things.
You speak of LIC TV, Lubbock ISD TV is a program that produces professionals. That's what we like to say. Every camera that is being operated tonight is operated by a student. Jonas is a freshman at Monterey, right? We're trying to produce the next generation of journalists and professionals as Jamarcus Smith gets nothing there. Tip your cap to the the defensive line for the Eagles for not allowing to get there. But going back to Lubbock ISD TV, I want to say we had more than a dozen students show up tonight for this game, and of course we had a whole slew of students work the Lubbock High game previous to this, and so we don't get to do these games without the commitment of our students, and we're grateful for that.
It's awesome just to look out and see everybody, be like, hey, I know that guy. He's in a class with me.
Absolutely. Hey, it's 3rd down and 8, ball at the 46-yard line now. Moments ago we saw the Plainsmen do something similar to what the Eagles do, and that was an I formation play. But it looks like they're lining up in the pistol here. Jamarcus Smith directly behind. No, it's the I formation. I thought that was Luke Arrington there. So 3rd down and 8. It's going to be a handoff to Smith. And the Eagles are going to stop him after a gain of about 1 on the play. It's going to be 4th down. We're going to see if the punt unit will be coming on for Monterey. And it looks like there are a few rotations, but I don't see the punter, Ryan Jordan, running out there. Yeah, the defensive line, the front 7 for Abilene, Jonas, on that play didn't allow any movement on that offensive line. They showed their physicality and their toughness right there.
They really did. Just putting down, and in the middle of the field, it's not as much as a truck, more of a car that comes at you, but it's still a lot.
It's still a lot, absolutely. And got the jumbo package here, 4th and 7. It's going to be another handoff. Trying to hit that outside corner is Williams. He's going to be slung down from behind. It's going to be a turnover on downs. The Eagles playing some great defense.
We saw that play, and it just seems like the Eagles are trying to adapt to that, and they're starting to get in on that. They're truly trying to become the Predators in this situation.
Of course, on that carry right there was Des Williams. Williams, the second leading rusher on this team for Monterey, and man, he could pop off on any given play and make something happen. So back out is this Abilene High offense. 3 plays, touchdown moments ago. Can they do it again? right? This Monterey defense is young on the defensive side of the ball, but they have sophomores and juniors that are taking some serious snaps every game, and they're getting better. And if you're Coach Thrash, that's what you want to see from your guys, getting better week in and week out. Growth, right? As a tennis player yourself, you look for growth every week?
Yeah, it's honestly just like mostly mental, and it's a lot of mental growth. And when you get mental, you allow yourself to get physical. I imagine it's the same thing with every sport. I mean, when I try to shoot with basketball, my hands are bricks, but if I just continued working on that and I worked on mentally being able to work in those moments.
Absolutely. Pass and catch there. It's going to be a first down. Trey Simpson with the catch, but there's a flag that comes flying in. It's landed at about the 50-yard line. We're going to hear from Kelly Robinson once again. Here's Kelly. Oh, and they're picking up the flags. Maybe not. Oh, here he is. Okay, now he's about to talk.
Holding on the offense, number 19. 10-yard penalty for final foul. Repeat second down.
So the flag's going to go against Rylan Bradford, the junior wide receiver. And we're going to take a look at this instant replay right here, see if we can see the holding on it. It's right there at the bottom of your screen as he slings the defender to the ground. So it's going to be second down and 9. Clock is rolling here in the first quarter. It's going to be a throw here on second down. Completion. Close to the line to gain. It looks like Gotti Gomez is the one with the reception. And it's going to come down to the spot, Jonas, if they get the first down.
Monterey just kind of saw what was going on there, and they stopped it as quickly as possible, allow them to get as few yards as possible.
So it's going to be third down and 1. They marking just short, and the Eagles are working quick. 4 wide receivers are running back to the right of Dylan Slack. Of course, Slack is a senior on this team. And if you watch any film of the Eagles this season, he's done some pretty great things over the course of the 4 games. Slack, 3-step drop, slings it and caught. First down, and great open field tackle there by what looks like to be Cash Lewis.
Yeah, he really got on top of that once the ball was passed.
Those quick slants like that, Jonas, right? If your quarterback and your receiver know their timing and they've worked together, they can be super efficient, and we saw it there. So here we are, 1st and 10, ball at the 40 now. It's going to be a pitch, and trying to hit that outside corner and flying through the air, Chad Lara. He got some air on that one. That can be dangerous sometime, Jonas.
Yes, sir. We saw earlier today, Lubbock High had 4 people go onto the stretcher and didn't come back onto the field.
Yeah, that was a rough game, and it was a roller coaster kind of a game because of those injuries, Jonas. Yeah, I agree with you there. It took any momentum that any team had at those moments out of the game, and so it was a roller coaster game. But knock on wood, right, that we don't have any here in this one. Second down and 8. We're under 6 minutes in the first quarter. Trying to bounce it to the outside. And slung down at about the 36.
Austin Rivas just took him down right there.
Of course, that was Chad Lara on the carry. You said Austin Rivas made the tackle?
Austin Rivas made the tackle.
All right, we're going to hear from Kelly again. There's a flag on the play.
Holding on the offense, number 67. 10-yard penalty from the spot, from the previous spot. Repeat second down.
Okay, so they're going to repeat the down, and if you're Monterey, you'll gladly take it because Abilene High has been able to get some pretty solid chunk plays through this early part of the game. So it's now going to be second down and 18, ball at the 48-yard line. And this could change the play calling a little bit, right? As they now have Braden Henry in at quarterback. Of course, he can throw it, he can run it, he's Mr. Everything with this offense.
Yes, he is, and we're about to see that.
It's going to be a pitch here on coming to this close side. Trying to break away from a tackle and does. Man, that stiff arm was lethal right there, but the defense continued to swarm to the ball, and Bryson Perez will be tackled for a gain of maybe a few on the play.
Number 22, Gavin Guardiola, was up on that tackle as we saw just a moment ago.
Absolutely, yeah, the 6-foot, 200-pound junior coming in from that linebacker spot, making the play. And that's what you want to see if you're a defensive coach, right, Jonas, is players flying to the football. And you're seeing this early on, but on this second drive for Abilene High is the Plainsmen are flying to the football. They're taking great pursuit angles, and they're getting the guys to the ground.
It's really good because Monterey's taking the wings off the Eagles and using them for themselves.
Ooh, okay, I see your line there. Henry looking to throw the ball here and rolling to his right. Slinging it on the run. Slightly overthrown there. You can kind of see it off the tip of his hands as he got let go of it. But once again, Jonas, I see some dirty laundry out there on the field. Here's a flag. Coach Thrash is talking to the official there.
That's fourth down.
And we're going to hear from Kelly one more time.
Holding. Offense number 58. Penalties refused. Fourth down.
So how many holding calls was that on that drive? At least 3. So that's something that I guess the officials knew to be looking for coming into this game is players holding or something along those lines. But here comes the punt team for Abilene High, and if you're Monterey, that's a victory for you right there.
Yes, sir. And we earlier heard Kathy, I think was her name, talking about how we have some knuckleheads on each team. And
Kelly Robinson.
Yes, sir.
Of course, that's our head official, and during the, like we said, and that ball was perfectly placed. Great punt there by the Abilene High Eagles. Monterey's going to have a long distance to go here if they want to take this the distance of the field and tie this game up. The ball will be spotted at the 1-yard line. Yeah, you were saying a moment ago, Jonas, Kelly Robinson, our head official for tonight, the white hat is what they call him, talked about with the captain's pregame during the coin toss that you're going to have some knuckleheads on your team, and it's up to the captains to keep them locked in and focused. So there you go. Way to bring it back around, Jonas. I like that. All right, so here comes this Monterey offense. It's round 2 for them this time. They look to get something going. Through the 4 games this season, the Plainsmen average about 412 yards per game, and it's really a lot of running. 1,263 of the yards that they have for this season have been on the ground. And so if the recipe for Monterey in the games that they've had success in, the first 2 games of the season, it's been run the football and play great defense. And they've been relying heavily on their offensive line and their running backs. And I wouldn't be surprised here if they run another running play.
Well, we're about to find out here in a moment.
Yep, as Jamarcus Smith checks back into the game, you see him running in. And we'll get into the huddle here. Of course, Monterey's motto this year is tough men win. And this is where you got to be the toughest. When you're backed up against your own goal line, this is where you need to be tough and you need to be physical.
My coach says dogs that only bite when they're backed into a corner, and they're definitely backed into a corner right now.
Man, you're coming in with some good lines tonight. I like it. So this is Jonas's first time ever calling a game, and we couldn't be more excited for him and the opportunities. Of course, that Lubbock ISD TV presents our students, right? Getting hands-on learning experience. And of course, I was telling Diego in the morning, or the afternoon game, that this is not really hands-on because we're talking, right? But this is great learning experience.
Yes, it is. Honestly, it's just crazy to be up here, and we get to learn so much just doing what could seem like so little. There's just minute details that you never think would matter that just matter so much in this industry.
Well, and then I think that translates to the football field as well. It's 3rd down and 6. And it looked like Arrington was going to be trying to air one out right there, but there was a timeout on the field. Of course, all of our timeouts this season on our Lubbock ISD YouTube channel are presented by UMC Children's Hospital. Thank you to UMC Children's Hospital for being our timeout sponsor. And we're going to go ahead and take a little pause. 7-0 right now, Eagles on top. And the Plainsmen are backed up deep, and it's 3rd and 6. They need to make something happen here. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hello, my name is Isaac.
Hello, my name is Abby.
And I'm one of the many Lubbock ISD TV students bringing you tonight's live stream.
If you appreciate our coverage, we hope you'll consider one of our sponsorship opportunities,
Your support gives us the opportunity to travel to state and national competitions,
where we represent our entire district in audio and video production contests.
Last season, our students received multiple awards in Skills USA and the Student Television Network.
If you'd like to support us, contact Kenneth Dixon with the information on your screen.
And thank you for watching.
Big 3rd and 6 here for Monterey. As you can tell by looking at your screen, they're backed up pretty deep right now. And it looks like Jamarcus Smith is in at quarterback. He's going to hand it off to Des Williams. And the Eagles, they continue to impress with that defensive line right there. They forced him to have to cut back in. They kept their outside containment, and they couldn't get anywhere. That wasn't Des Williams. That was Christian Williams on that carry.
once we see the Plainsmen possibly get their first touchdown, I feel like their momentum is going to be shifted a little bit. I feel like it was a little mentally downbringing when the Eagles got a touchdown so fast on them.
Yeah, momentum is a tricky thing. It's a tricky thing because it can go away and it can be with you really quick. You know, it's. But I can see what you're saying right there, right? Because right from the start, the Eagles threw the first punch in this boxing fight, and now it's time to see if Monterey could respond. Ryan Jordan,
here comes the kick,
punting it here. Of course, he was punting into the wind right there, and he will get a good roll as it rolls up to about the 37-yard line. Ryan Jordan has been an impressive punter for Monterey over the course of his career, and he was in our program last year. He's a good kid, I can tell you that too. So back comes Abilene High on offense, okay? The style of offense they run is an RPO style. The quarterback, Dylan Slack, isn't afraid to run with the ball or throw it down the field when he sees it's open. I've also seen them run a little 12 personnel with 2 tight ends. They love to be physical, and of course, we've already talked about Henry multiple times today. He's another wrinkle in that offense. That's a pretty major wrinkle. I think we're about to hear from Kelly right here.
After play was over. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Monterey number 12. This is first unsportsmanlike of the game. 15-yard penalty for them to kick. First down.
All right, let's look at this instant replay of the penalty. So it was called unsportsmanlike conduct on Monterey, and so, oh, and you see it here. You know, it's always the second man, Jonas, that gets caught, right? And Monterey retaliated in that moment. And, of course, that's 15 yards, setting the Eagles up once again in some primetime territory. 1st and 10 for this Eagles drive at the 22-yard line. Slack back in at quarterback. He's going to pitch it to Henry. Henry hitting that corner, cutting it back up and in. He's got a first down and more. He'll be tackled inside about the 10-yard line, maybe the 8-yard line. 1st and goal for the Eagles. That's some impressive running there, Jonas.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's just incredible what these athletes can do all around. Running, tackling, being able to handle being tackled.
And the patience that he had in that play, right? Because he can stutter step, he pauses, he dives, he does what he wants to do because of how talented he is and how well he sees the field. It's quite impressive. So now Henry's at quarterback. Slack is on the sidelines, and they're in that 12 personnel. It'll be a handoff right up the middle as a dive, but gaining of about 4 on the play. 2nd down and 4 from the 4-yard line.
You could kind of tell he started to see a little bit of a needle, and then the needle was shut off super quick, and he just got piled on top of.
So 2nd down and from the 5-yard line, rather, and this clock is rolling. We're about to become at the end of the 1st quarter in the next minute. Of course, the Eagles finding success early on in this game. They had a touchdown on their 1st drive, had a punt their 2nd drive. Can they score on the 3rd? Another handoff this time, bouncing it outside, trying to go off that left tackle, and will be tackled at the 1-yard line. 3rd down now and 1 with 51 seconds to go. Of course, last season, the Eagles are coming off an excellent 2022 season with a run to the 3rd round of the playoffs. But now, of course, you turn the page to 2023. They have 8 starters that returned from last year on offense and 4 on defense. But we're 5 games into the season, and it looks like they just scored. They did. Touchdown, Eagles.
Really just pushed through that. It was kind of like what we saw in that Friendship Monterey match a couple weeks ago when that Friendship guy just absolutely pushed through everybody and made a couple-yard gain, if not even scored in that.
Well, you know what? Crazy that you bring up Friendship because the Abilene High Eagles are very familiar with the Tigers as they matched up with them last week. The Tigers had Monterey, then Abilene High, and are on the road at Rio Rancho tonight. The extra point up and good. It's now 14-0. Abilene High on top of Monterey. And if you're on the opposite sideline and you're with the Abilene High Eagles, you got to be feeling pretty good about the start you've had for Coach Fullen's group.
Yes, we do. The Monterey, the Plainsmen, are going to need some serious momentum coming into this next one. A serious talk from the coach. Let's see how it rolls out in the next quarter. Yeah, this game is all about adjustments, right? And who can make in-game adjustments? Who can do this and do this a little better? And I'm anxious to see how do you readjust, right? Because this Abilene team has found success on special teams with the muff punt, and then of course running the football
and doing what they want to do on the offensive end. Hey, we got 275 people tuning in right now. 4 likes, of course, like, subscribe. We're trying to reach about 1,600 subscriptions after tonight. Do you think we could do it?
I think we can.
I think we can.
If we have everybody here watching, if you're not subscribed, it would be amazing if you subscribe to help us get just a little bit closer.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I think it's so cool that we're on this platform this year. Of course, last year we broadcasted all of our games on NFHS Network, and this year we wanted to try something new, and YouTube is a free platform that everybody has on their TV. As Cash Lewis has the ball here at the 20-yard line, has a lot of green grass in front of him, one defender to beat.
Cash Lewis
slips right there, and he's tackled down at the 50-yard line. Back-to-back great returns for Cash Lewis.
Cash Lewis really found that opening right there and tricked him out with the footwork. Then you saw just at the end somebody barely caught him and brought him down. That was an incredible play from Cash Lewis, and let's see if he continues to make plays like this, going in and leading the Plainsmen into possibly their first touchdown and maybe their next few to bring them into the lead against the Eagles.
Yeah, they got a hole to dig themselves out of right here by being down by 14. But there was a reason why we chose number 2 on our pregame show, because Cash Lewis is a game changer. He's a game changer on special teams, on defense, and on offense. He's a part of all 3 facets of the game for the Monterey Plainsmen, and he plays a pivotal role for him. He almost looked like I was looking at the YouTube instant replay here, Jonas. He was carrying the ball low right there, and it looked like he was about to lose it at one point. So here's Arrington back on offense. 3-step drop and going to the air. Slinging it. Picked off. Abilene's got it, and a lot of green grass in front of him. Trey Sharp. He looks sharp as he gets tackled out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. Jamarcus Smith had to come save the day, but tip your cap to Trey Sharp, the senior defensive back.
He really just took that opportunity and he booked it. You can tell when somebody's really dedicated to that running back situation, and you could tell he was running as hard as he could, and he just pushed through.
Here's the instant replay of it. You see Arrington looking to his left, and Sharp read his eyes right there and nearly took it back to the house right there. Great defensive play for the Eagles. And once again, this offense is about to trot out onto the field deep in Plainsman territory. And if you're looking, Jonas, if you're looking for keys to success on how to win a football game, giving the offense great field position 3 times is not it. And so Abilene High, if they had a game plan and this is how they chalked it up perfectly. So here we are again. 1st and 10, this time from the 15, 7 seconds to go in the first quarter. It's going to be a handoff. Great hole there. Great stuff by the offensive line. Gaining a solid gain is Chad Laura. It's going to be 2nd down and about 3. Wow. You blink, the first quarter's over. It's 14-0. Monterey down to the Abilene High Eagles. The Eagles came here confident and eager to get back in that win column, and you see their sense of urgency. So we're going to take a quick timeout. It's 14-0. When we come back, we'll have second quarter action presented by the students and staff of Lubbock ISD TV.
What is Highlights? It's your weekly look at the innovative teaching, unique opportunities, fantastic community partners, and so much more happening in Lubbock ISD. Join us at 8, noon, 6, or 10 o'clock on Lubbock ISD TV, or watch on demand anytime at LubbockISDTV.com. Highlights, featuring the great opportunities only in Lubbock ISD.
And the Eagles are driving. It's 2nd 3 from the 8-yard line. If the Eagles get into the red zone tonight, they've been really successful. Of course, 2 for 2 so far. Can they go 3 for 3 once they get in the red zone? The Monterey defense would like to see that change to being 2 for 3. But the Eagles said, no, sir. Touchdown. Give them 6. Braden Henry scampers in for the score.
It's crazy watching the Eagles just come in with this momentum and coming with this energy, and they're pushing and pushing, and you can see it coming into the first quarter with the touchdown off the bat, or second quarter. Now, as we just saw in the first quarter, they came in and made a touchdown off the bat.
You know, in high school football, right, when you drop back-to-back games, it brings a new sense of urgency and a new sense of focus to a team, and we're seeing a focused Abilene High team tonight. Of course, they started the season at one point. You and I talked about this pregame as that extra point is up and good. Yes, yeah, up and good, 21-0. They were state ranked at one point. This is a team that faced 2 6A programs in a row, really good 6A programs in a row, and battled them really hard. And that's why they fell out of the rankings. But they are talented, and we're seeing it firsthand tonight.
They've worked for that, and as this is the appearance for, you know, the first district match game, it's just crazy to watch them come out with this type of energy.
You know, as a tennis player that plays at Monterey, have y'all started district play yet?
Yes, we have. We've been going on for a couple weeks now.
Okay, so can you speak to, like, there's an extra level of intensity that comes when you see the district names pop up, and we're seeing it here.
It really is, you know, playing Lubbock High, possibly state champions for tennis this year, just coming in.
They've been elite so far.
They've been crazy.
All right, so here comes the kickoff team again for Abilene High. If you're Monterey, you want to see your team be able to do something here, right? Thank you. We're getting our stats for the first quarter through here for everybody here at Lubbock ISD, and then of course we want to thank everybody over here that's working on these stats. What stands out right away, passing yards for Abilene High is at 40. Their rushing yards is at 34. They've had 14 plays for 74 yards. Of course, you can add another 8 on that one, so make it 82 yards. I would say 82 yards in one quarter is really efficient.
That is super efficient.
And then what stands out as well is time of possession. Abilene High had the ball for 7 minutes and 7 seconds, while Monterey 4 minutes and 53 seconds. Those are your stats through the first quarter. Of course, we'll continue to get more stats throughout the course of the game and continue to update you guys as we continue to get them. We get them right around the quarters, at the end of the quarters or beginning of the next quarter. And again, we're super grateful for the crew that works up here in the press box with us. Arrington's going to start this drive in the shotgun formation with Smith to his right. It's going to be a handoff, and he bounces out of that. Great idea for Jamarcus Smith because there was nothing going for him there. Of course, still nothing going for him there as he tries to bounce it outside and gets a gain of nothing, but at least he had the potential of doing something great by making that cut out to the outside.
And then he saw that. And then you can see number 7 and number 44 coming in after him in that situation. Then he took some airtime, and he really did see that, and we always appreciate the effort.
Of course, number 7 is Beckham Paul, and 44 for the Eagles is Caden Rainwater. Well, I like that last name, Rainwater. Of course, we need more rain here on the South Plains, and most likely Abilene probably needs more rain. We always need some here.
It's funny because we use rainwater, and he moves just like a fluid.
Oh. You're going to be the king of cheese by the end of the night. Jamarcus Smith breaking through a tackle, and another. He has the chance to do something special here. He needs a block from Cash Lewis, and he's got it. 20-10-6. Jamarcus Smith from the 24-yard line takes it 76 yards to the house.
That was a lot of green, and he just covered that, and he made that up. That was amazing to watch as he made that through.
That's a guy that refused to be denied. He got hit at the line of scrimmage, 74 yards after contact. It looked like he lost his shoe momentarily out there on the field on that instant replay. And he is special. I think he lost his shoe out there, Jonas.
I think still ran it.
He did. You saw it there. 74 yards in one shoe.
I mean, if that's the cost of the game, but he made it, and he did something great here.
Right, so here comes the kicking unit for Monterey. It's Gio Cardenas with the honors of doing the extra point. And it's up and good. So the Eagles score 3 touchdowns in a row, but Monterey might have found something right there. You talked about one touchdown might change the outlook of how the guys are looking at the game, and there's your touchdown right there from Monterey.
You can see the energy popping through the Monterey crowd.
It's a great crowd on hand tonight for this 5A opener for both of these teams. And again, district games mean more. We can't stress that enough, right? Because if you're chasing for gold balls, like both of these programs want to do, it starts with district, right? That first one is the district title that you were aiming for. And whenever we saw this game on the schedule, I thought to myself, because both teams at the time were 2-0, and I was like, this might be the game that everybody's going to have circled and come back to. Because both of these teams were playing really well after week 2, and then they had their stumbles, but they're looking to bounce back tonight.
And I hope we see it from both of them here. And, you know, they start racking up those gold balls, and over the time, it just proves what a good team is. It proves the coaches, and it proves everything about the school that they're working with here.
Goals for the season, since we're talking about gold balls, let's talk about Monterey's goals. The goal for the Plainsmen this season is simple. Pursue the playoffs. Last year was all about learning under first-year head coach Judd Thrash, and this year is all about getting better every week and being the strongest when district race starts, and that race starts tonight. And so it's simply stated, playoffs. That's what they want, and of course district starts that.
And it's a marathon, and so it's always crazy to watch, and it's more about the test of time than it is about the sprint.
Well, and then the endurance as well, right? The injury bug last year destroyed Monterey. They had hardly anybody by that last game of the season. I think they might have had 30 players on their roster total, right? And it's because of the injury bug. Are you healthy, right? That's something that you have to think about as a team. Gio Cardenas continues to be a great kicker for this Monterey team. He boots that one through the end zone. It is all the way over there on the gray track. That is impressive.
He really sent that thing, making sure the Eagles could not get their hands on it.
No, and that's part of the game plan, right? They know, hey, don't kick it to them, because they could do something pretty special on the special teams.
If they hold the ball, they have the momentum right now, and that's what the Plainsmen are hoping coming off of that first touchdown.
The defense has got to make a stop first, because back comes this Abilene High offense. They are 3 for 4 on drives tonight. And that's a pretty good batting average, if you ask me, right there.
Yes, it is.
So here they come. Slack back in at quarterback. Got 4 wide receivers in the pistol formation. And it's going to be a throw here on first down. Ooh, in and out of the hands of the receiver.
The claws couldn't latch onto the prey in that moment.
Yeah, Rylan Bradford tried to haul that one in right there. The junior wide receiver had it in his hands, but maybe the defender that was preying on him right there, Austin Rivas, might have, made him think twice, and that could have been the reason why he dropped it right there.
This game isn't just physical, it's mental, and the same thing with any sport, and you could really see it in that moment possibly.
A former Tech basketball coach would talk about mental all the time. 4 to 1 was his motto, and you have to be 4 times more mentally strong than physically strong. And I know Tech fans in this region don't like to hear that kind of stuff from him, but right, that's true in my opinion, is that you got to be mentally strong 4 times more than physically strong.
Sometimes you don't like the truth, but once you learn and adapt to it, you're already on top. You're a top predator.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 1 at the 34-yard line. The Eagles sent 3 players to the sidelines and 3 new ones checking in. And this is when they're going into that 12 personnel. 2 tight ends coming in the I formation. Under center is Slack. It's going to be a dive on the play. And diving forward, and will get the first down just enough. The Eagles moving the chains. On the carry there for Abilene High was Chad Laura. You see here, Jonas, just, the linebacker coming from that second level for Monterey was Ira Herrera, just barely missing him there, and if he was able to take him down, it would have been 4th and short. So 1st and 10 at the 35. Clock continuing to move because both these teams love to run the football. This is my style of play right here. I like it. Going to the air here is Slack. Caught. First down and more. Going to be tackled at the 46-yard line. Great pitch and catch for the Eagles. Move the chains. As Rylan Bradford says, let's go.
Eagles slowly making progress up the field, and that was a good play right there. Quite a bit of yard gain from getting shut down from the previous 2.
I'm a big advocate, and I've talked about it over and over on our broadcast here on YouTube, of yards after contact needs to be a stat. I don't know how they keep up with it. I wish I knew how to keep up with it, but because these guys are getting hit but still managing to break away and gaining substantial yards on a lot of these plays. It's impressive to see. They're not going down after the first defender hits them.
And that's very impressive to see. And we'll just see if they can continue to do this and get that hand contact.
So here we are, 2nd and 4. It's going to be a keeper by Slack. Fumble, the ball's loose. I believe Slack was able to get back on it. There was a Monterey defender there that was hovering over him, and he does recover it. Here's the instant replay of it. His first read wasn't there, and so he tried to tuck it and run, and the ball bounced perfectly back into his breadbasket, and the Eagles are going to keep it.
That brings up 3rd and 3.
So 3rd and 3, again, the Eagles find themselves, Jonas, in a 3rd down situation, and they've been successful on this down here tonight. This is the play that the down that they've been able to have success on that has been continuing these drives for them. Slack, 3-step drop, looking to his right and slinging it and caught at the 30, or scratch that, 28-yard line. Move the chains. They have success once again on 3rd down.
Monterey Plainsmen are starting to see this, and they're starting to shut it down before it can get too much of a problem, but they're still making serious gain, and it's great for the Abilene Eagles.
So here we are, 1st and 10. And they're moving quick. Pump fake. Slack throwing it on the run. Tipped up into the air and somehow caught. Spinning and getting into the end zone. Touchdown, Abilene High. Jackson Howell finds a way to score.
Monterey Plainsmen really fought for that there, and that was incredible to watch. The Abilene Eagles, that guy just worked for it, and he really put in the work and the time, and he got it.
Yeah, Jonas was at a loss for words right there. I love the pump fake by Slack, slinging it there, and the defender, that's one of those 50-50 balls right there where he throws it and he knows his receiver is going to go make a play, and he did. Great job by Howell, and great job for the extra point, because the Eagles are now up 28-7. That was an impressive drive for Abilene High. It was one of the drives, Jonas, and one of the first of this game where Abilene High had to take the entire field. They had to drive the entire field to be able to score that time, and that was an impressive drive by them. They ate up a good amount of the clock right there as well, and the Eagles are flying their flags again, and they're getting their steps in. So what do the Monterey Plainsmen do here in this situation, Jonas, right? Once again, you kind of feel like your back is against the wall, right? You're down 28-7. Abilene has been having success on everything they've been doing. What are your thoughts?
I mean, we just saw the Abilene Eagles were doing, and they were pushing, and they were going, and then the Monterey Plainsmen got that touchdown, and after doing that, all we can see is we can just hope that they go back to being that dog. They go back and they bite when they're backed up against the corner, and let's see if they can prove themselves and get it back again.
Well, and that kick has a weird bounce to it. Monterey's got to get on top of it, and the Eagles are right there as Williams gathers that in. Monterey's is in a tough spot here as they start this next drive, as they'll have the ball at around the 10-yard line. The special teams tonight for both teams, right? When Cash Lewis gets the ball, he returns it for something great. But whenever they don't kick it to number 2, it seems like the Eagles are right on top of it and are limiting Monterey to doing anything on special teams.
And it really does seem like that, and soon enough the Eagles are going to learn that they have to also start covering number 2, Cash Lewis, and once they do, that can make a tough situation.
Or just kick it away from him, and I think that's what they did right there, right? They didn't kick it to him. On 1st and 10, it's going to be a handoff, and trying to power forward after being met at the original line of scrimmage. I believe that was Jamarcus Smith, and it was. So maybe a gain of half a yard on that play, if that. The Eagles front 7 not allowing anything to happen here for Monterey. Of course, the Eagles sitting at 2-2 on the season, and so is Monterey. Of course, the next time we will have the Plainsmen on our YouTube channel will be one of the biggest games of the year, the one that everybody circles on their calendar, and it's Coronado versus Monterey on October 27th. That will be a big one, and again, we'll be bringing it here on YouTube. Man, Jamarcus Smith got rocked. Big play there by Bryce Nevis is what I'm going to go with, or Nuevis, one of the two, but big hit there to take him down. And you see here on the instant replay, we had a solo shot on Smith. You love to see that. but he had no chance to get anything going there, Jonas, because he was met instantly at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, there was no point, and there wasn't enough force for him to come on and truck through, and everybody was just piled on top of him.
So they're breaking out of their huddle here. With 6:39 to go here in the second quarter, it's 3rd and 10. Arrington going to the air, looking over the middle. It's a high arcing pass, trying to go for Williams, and it's picked off again. Abilene High's got it, and they're going to have it at the 50-yard line. Big time catch there by DeMarco Upshaw. And that's the second interception of the ball game for the Abilene High Eagles.
Abilene High Eagles are just coming out, and they're pushing, they're putting on the energy, and they're putting on the pressure for the Plainsmen. And you can definitely see some of the Plainsmen fumbling their shots now. And we've just kind of seen it through the whole game. We got 6:28 left in this quarter.
Yeah, and the Abilene High Eagles, look, if you're looking at a box, right, if you're having a bingo scorecard, the Eagles have checked off a lot of that bingo scorecard to start this game because they're having success running the ball. They're having success stopping Monterey on defense, running and passing. The Eagles have been special to start this one. Brayden Henry now at quarterback for the Eagles. And it's going to be a run here by Chad Laura. He breaks through and gets to that second level, diving forward. He's got the first down. One play, moved the change. Chad Laura shows how special he is.
Showed his wings in that situation, jumped over maybe 2 people, and he landed it and got a huge yard gain for them. That was a huge play right there.
That was a big play and a big leap right there by Laura. He got to that second level, and when you get to that second level, running backs can do something great. Here's a sweep here, trying to cut it back inside, and will be tackled at the 21-yard line. That was a pretty great run right there by Jackson Howell, and a tough tackle by Monterey's Camden Offutt. He slung him down right there. He'll be feeling that one tomorrow. So the Eagles are driving, 1st and 10 from the 21. It's going to be a handoff once again. Thought about going between the tackles, but bouncing it outside and then get upended was Chad Laura. You see nothing happening there between the tackles for him, so he made the right move by bouncing outside, but he might regret it right there because, man, that was a hard tackle by Monterey's Austin Rivas. He got him right there in the hip, man. That's going to hurt.
That's going to hurt. Let's just hope it doesn't end up like Lubbock High, where they had people coming on the field to help them, and they didn't come off. That was such a as you said earlier, it was a roller coaster of a game. And let's hope that this is a roller coaster of a game, but not from injuries, from comebacks and amazing plays.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot better. 2nd and 9. Oh, planting his feet and losing his feet, trying to bounce it outside right there. Chad Laura. That was an interesting run right there.
Yeah, a little bit of an angry punch right there when he got tackled.
Yeah,
we can see here on the replay.
The turf monster got him a little bit, and he saw the defender and tried to bounce it back outside, make a 90-degree turn, but the turf got him a little bit, and it's going to be 3rd down and 13. If you're Monterey and you're in this 3rd down situation, this is probably the most friendly 3rd down situation you've been in on the defensive side. As the clock continues to move, Henry is now at quarterback. And it's a design quarterback keeper, and he'll be tackled for a loss. That's going to go down as a sack on the play. Swooping in and making the tackle for the Plainsmen is Gavin Gordolia.
A little bit of a celebration right there from number 23, also known as Gio Cardenas.
No, that was number 22, Gavin Gordolia. He deserved to celebrate a little bit too on that one because, one, Henry is elite at running the ball, and so if you can take him down, props to you, man. And 2, it's going to go down as a sack and for a loss on the play. 4th down and 16 now from the 27, and the Eagles are going for it. Here's Slack, trying to go over the middle. Great ball. Did he catch it? Oh, what a catch. Touchdown, Eagles.
The Eagles are coming out with some amazing plays right here. They're really putting up the pressure, and it seems like in this situation, they're defanging the dogs back in the corner. And it's really crazy to watch these guys making these incredible plays, really showing their wings.
Sensational pass, sensational catch. That was a beautiful ball. And that was right in the middle of traffic, too. That's what's even more impressive about it. I'm anxious to see that instant replay because I want to give credit to the receiver. I wasn't able to catch his number. The extra point up and good. The Eagles extend their lead It's now 35-7, and our awesome producer in our ear, Emma Feist, a senior from Talkington, tells me it's Bryson Perez with the touchdown reception. Wow. And you know what? We thought something, you know, that both of these teams would come out wanting to do their best and give it their best shot. And man, the Eagles are soaring tonight here in the Hub City.
They're really showing that they deserve a state ranking, that they deserve to make it all the way through the playoffs here. And we're seeing the coaches down on the Monterey side helping them, trying to get them going, seeing the energy, trying to look at the body language.
Yeah, no, we're seeing firsthand, like you said, why they were state ranked, and who knows, right? As they continue the course of district play, if they continue to play like they are tonight, they might see themselves creep their way back into those rankings. Absolutely. And you talk about Monterey on their sideline and the coaches trying to hype them up. We saw that pregame with Coach Thrash. He was bringing the energy. He was, you know, telling the guys and hyping them up and saying that we got this, believe, and it was an energy pregame for the Plainsmen. He might have had an energy drink down there, maybe pregame, because he was bringing it.
Maybe he did.
This is a deep kick this time, end over end. It's caught by Williams at the 7-yard line. Williams cutting it back up and will be tackled at the 24-yard line. So back comes, go for it. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Saw an opportunity and tried to take it right there.
No, he did. You did. And that time, I liked how he was there ready to catch the ball, right? Didn't let it hit the ground so that he could get a good running start before the defenders from Abilene High were able to get to him. So back comes this Monterey offense. And with 3:28 to go here in the first half, we talk about it every week, right? As you're going into halftime, you want to make sure you have something positive to point to, right? Some positive things. And if you're Monterey with 3:28 left, you want to make sure this is your drive to do something positive. As Jamarcus Smith gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage, got nothing going for him there. This Eagles defense has shown up tonight.
Going back to that point on the halftime, looking for something, we saw that in the Friendship Monterey game where Coach Thrash said something in halftime and they all came out and they went on the field and they brought it as close as they could and made such an amazing game and an entertainment for everybody. You can go and watch that on your YouTube channel at Lubbock ISD and go and see for yourself.
It was a 4 overtime game, and you know, Coach Thrash, I can't remember who he was speaking to, and I want to say it was on his radio show here in town, talked about that there might have been a little, they call it a hangover effect after a game, right? Where you have the emotional rush of playing this huge game and you come up just short and you're still thinking about it the next week, right? And he kind of felt like at that Midland game last week, they might have had that effect a little bit, as we do have a Monterey Plainsman down on the field. It looks to be one of their offensive linemen. That is one of their strengths of their team, is the guys up front being able to push guys and set the tone offensively. Of course, all of our timeouts this season, and I know we've probably already shown the graphic because I was looking at Jonas, is a UMC Children's Hospital timeout. Again, we're thankful for them for sponsoring our timeouts this season. Glad to see him walking up and getting up under his own power and walking off the field, of course. That's Daniel Mendoza, a senior offensive lineman, standing at 6'3", 265. This offensive line, Jonas, has a lot of seniors on it and a lot of experience. A lot of these guys have been playing on varsity since their sophomore season, and they're still out here making big plays as seniors now.
It's something that you love to see, and it's something that you love to see the growth from the different people over the time.
Yeah.
And just looking at how they've grown and the different things that they've been able to pull together throughout the years, the highlights, the things that you don't necessarily want to point out. It's amazing to see the growth. And
yeah, and there's a play there on second down, going for a few yards on the play. As you speak about that, you're a freshman. You're coming your senior year in LIC TV, and we're doing this. I'm anxious to see your growth.
I am too. It's going to be an incredible one. It's going to be a wild ride, just like it is for everybody out there on the field. A roller coaster of emotions, isn't it?
Yeah. How are you feeling as a freshman doing this? This is kind of cool, huh?
It's honestly awesome. There's things where, like, at first you're really nervous, but then after a second you start to feel like you're at home. You start to figure things out, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We do have another timeout on the field. It is a UMC Children's Hospital timeout. So coming up during halftime, since we're getting closer and closer to halftime, we are a full-time 24-hour-a-day TV station here in Lubbock, on Lubbock ISD TV. We're live on Optimum, and so we go out and we are training professionals. We have content, locally produced content coming your way during halftime. We have a show called Highlights that highlights all the great things in our district. We have the volleyball report coming your way during halftime. Our volleyball teams are in action, and a lot of them are in district play themselves. And so how are they doing? We're going to find out during our halftime show. So here we are, 3rd and 8. Plainsman with the ball, and you want to see them get a first down here if you're a Plainsman fan. Oh, and hit, and the ball's flying through the air. Luke Arrington, right as he was about to throw that, Jonas, gets hit from behind, and that ball went soaring through the air, and that could have been trouble with how long that ball was in the air.
It was a good idea, and he saw a needle, and we just got by a little lucky on that. It was great hustle from the Abilene Eagles, just falling a little short.
Yeah, you see here, it's the backside right there, right? The blind side is what they call that, where he didn't see him coming, and as he was about to release, he gets hit and the ball went in the air. As a quarterback, that's probably the most terrifying few moments, right? As you see that ball flying through the air and you're hoping no defender gets underneath it. So back comes Ryan Jordan. This time the wind to his back, and this young man is a really good punter. I'm excited to see him get his shot right here. We're gonna hear from Kelly.
Timeout, Monterey. The second timeout and a half.
All right, so that's another timeout, a UMC Children's Hospital timeout. Coach Thrash must have not liked what he saw down there with his special teams unit, Jonas.
No, he didn't. That's why he pulled him over to the halftime or timeout, and he started saying he wants to say something. He wants to get them hyped up, and he wants to put something in their head that might change the direction of the game. Try to give them that momentum. Put the fangs back in the dog to bite when they're backed up into the corner.
All right, so we're going to take a quick timeout real quick. We'll be back right after this short break on the Lubbock ISD YouTube channel. What could be the fastest timeout in the history was just taken right there. Ryan Jordan gathers in that high snap and was able to get a good punt off right there. One of the Monterey Plainsmen over here was getting double teamed. Did you see that over here on this close sideline? 2 flags come flying in. It's going to go against Abilene High.
DeMarco Upshaw had some serious feet in that situation. He was pumping, he was pushing, and he tripped up some people. He broke up their ankles to make that play just before being tackled.
So Bryce Alexander, we might have an instant replay of it on that far corner there. You see him getting pushed out of bounds, and the flags come soaring in right after that. It's going to go against the Eagles. We're going to hear from our officiating crew, as it looks like they are talking with each other. Of course, you see the Monterey training staff working on Daniel Mendoza there on the sidelines. Of course, we're so grateful for each and every one of our athletic trainers that take care of our student athletes every day.
On the return team.
Thank you so much for taking care of our students and making sure they're healthy in these young, crucial developmental stages of their life.
Absolutely, and you're one of those athletes too. All right, so after that penalty, here comes this Abilene High offense, and they're looking to continue to stack success. They've only been stopped one time tonight by this Monterey defense, and with 2:28 to go, you got to be thinking, they're thinking blue turf right now. They're trying to score one more time. He got trips on that far side. Slacks going to that far side. Caught and tackled at about the 50-yard line was Jackson Howell. Howell has been a number and a name and a number we've been calling a lot tonight, Jonas. They continue to feed him the ball.
Yes, he is. Let's see if he continues to make amazing highlights and amazing plays throughout the night.
Absolutely. 2nd down and 3. The clock turning. It's going to be a pitch here to Henry. Henry's going to bounce it outside, patiently waiting behind his blocker right there to gain a few more on the play. Braden Henry, he is an impressive young man, and you see why all these recruiters are looking at him here. And great blocking, too. Shout out to Rylan Bradford there, right? Because when the wide receivers, if they don't block Jonas, those running backs don't go anywhere. So they got to be fully committed, and that shows that they're committed to this team and to winning, is when you see those wide receivers locking up those cornerbacks and driving them downfield.
You're right, and you can just really see it, and that's why
that's a touchdown. Wide open. Give them 6. The Abilene High Eagles continue to soar here in the Hub City, and I don't know if I've seen somebody that open before. Rylan Bradford scores.
He just kind of waltzed onto that blue turf. He didn't have too much hustle behind it, making another touchdown for the Eagles, putting more momentum behind their name and in this game.
I want to see this instant replay when we have it in just a second, because he split those defenders and then he was wide open. There was nobody there that was going to be able to stop him. And they scored within 36 seconds of having the ball, the extra point up and good. If you're an Abilene Eagle fan, tonight's your night right now. You're up 42-7 and you got to be feeling great.
The Plainsmen really hoping for a serious shift coming up into this halftime. I wonder how many of them are just waiting there, hoping for that little bit of a break.
I think this offense is eager to get back out there, right? They got shut down multiple times, but like any good team, you flush the bad things, you forget the bad things, and you want to get back out there so you can prove yourself once again. And this Monterey team has proven this season that they can run the ball and they can hang with the big dogs. But like you said, they want to bounce back. See the sidelines here for Monterey. And then, of course, the kickoff team for Abilene High. Yeah, I'm anxious to see the stats, too, coming out of halftime, right? When we come out of halftime, as well as we're getting ready to kick things back off in the third quarter, we'll have highlights from the first half. We'll also have the stats from the first half. And I have a feeling that Abilene High is going to have some pretty big numbers.
Yes, they are. And the Monterey offensive, back to that point of them just waiting to get out, they've been shut down. And you know what that, I know what that feels like. You just want to get back into it. You want to go back and prove yourself and show them that they can do something different, and let's hope they can pull that into halftime. But here comes the kick.
Yeah, they got 2 minutes. 2 minutes is plenty of time to be able to drive the field. Now, you only do have one timeout, and so you might have to play sideline to sideline, and you might have to see Arrington throw the ball, right? Arrington, when he has thrown the ball today, the Abilene High Eagles have managed to come away with it a few times. And so with 2 minutes to go, you're going to want to see number 5 throw it a little bit.
Yeah, and obviously there's a lot of pressure being the opening district game for the Monterey Plainsmen. There's got to be some sort of pressure for them to coming into this wanting to prove something. Right now the Eagles proving that they have it and they have earned their wings and the right to fly in this game.
I love all your little sayings here. You got like the dogs biting with their teeth and the Eagles soaring in their wings, and it's fun to hear. Jamarcus Smith fumbles the ball, and the Eagles say they recovered it. We're going to have to wait to see from the official. The umpire comes in, and he's got a decision to make here.
Plainsmen hoping right now.
It's going with the Eagles. The Eagles steal the ball away with 2 minutes to go in prime territory once again. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line, as I believe Jamarcus Smith fumbled that ball right there.
As a reminder, Lubbock ISD has a no re-entry policy.
Wow.
If you choose to leave the stadium for any reason.
You couldn't script this any better if you're Abilene High. That every domino has fallen their way so far tonight.
They're just having a script that they're following, and they're following it super well, and it's incredible to watch them perform at this level. They're really proving why they were state ranked right now. Again, they were shut down by those 2 6A teams, and they fell out of the state rankings, but oh.
Yeah, Henry throwing it there to his tight end. Gets popped out of bounds, but it's going to be 1st and goal for the Abilene High Eagles as Trey Simpson gathers that one in and gets a great gain on the play. That was a gain of about, oh, no, he came up short. He must have stepped out of bounds right there before he took contact with that defender. And so he'll be 2 yards short of the 1st down. But I love seeing Henry throw the ball, right? Because it shows how dynamic he is, right? Today we've seen him be more of a runner, but there he shows that he could be a thrower as well.
Yes, and he's proven that, and it's awesome to see him prove that. Oh,
spinning out of the initial tackle, but losing yardage on the play. Chad Laura there. I love how creative he is, don't you? He's a guy that if that first spot's not there, I'll find a way to see if I can get a second.
And he's been proving that over and over again.
So they're melting the clock a little bit as you see them looking to their sidelines. It's now 1:25 to go here in the first half. And the play clock, we should have about a minute left once they snap it if they play it all the way down. And it looks like they're going to snap it about 10 seconds early. No, they're going to have some pre-snap movement. Slack sends Henry in motion. 5-step drop, now rolling to his left. A shoe came off once again on the field. Slack feeling a lot of pressure and slinging it on the run. Has a receiver. Are you kidding me? Touchdown, Eagles. His last option on the play was Trey Simpson, and he scores.
Another touchdown from an amazing throw, and the Eagles are just taking advantage of that. Really, again, showing that they have the wings, that they've worked this, and that they're earning this right now. It's incredible to see this as their state opener.
Or their district opener, rather. And, yeah, this has been such an impressive thing to see. He didn't see it. His first couple options weren't open, started feeling pressure. What good quarterbacks do is they roll out and they find their open receiver, and Slack did that. That was impressive.
We saw him aiming up for the throw, and then he saw somebody coming to poach him from behind, and he moved out of the way and threw it and just gave his team another touchdown.
Wow, man, this is, if you're an Abilene Eagle fan watching on our YouTube channel tonight, make sure you like our stream. We want to know how many Eagle fans are watching tonight, because tonight is definitely their night here on Lubbock ISD's YouTube channel here at Lowry Field at Plains Capital Park. 54 seconds to go here in the first half. And this has been something, that's for sure. This has been something, man. Of course, I do want to talk about our band extravaganza coming up, and I know we have an awesome graphic for it as we get ready for this kickoff. Something to look forward to is the 2023 band extravaganza. This is the 40th year of the Lubbock ISD band extravaganza, and we want your face in the place for that fun night. Fans of music will gather on Tuesday of this upcoming week to see more than 1,200 students from across our district for a musical adventure. It's high school, middle school, and of course, every year the Going Band from Raiderland shows up, and a new wrinkle this year, I believe is a new wrinkle, is the Lubbock Christian Band is coming. And so if you love music and you love the marching band, come check it out. There's not free tickets, there's tickets still available for this game, and even a VIP experience. You want to check that out. Hey, our likes started going up, Jonas. We have a lot of Eagle fans tuning in tonight. We appreciate them for liking the live stream. All right, so back comes this Monterey offense, and they'll have this ball getting going at the 20-yard line.
Tackling on the play by number 34.
Again, we want to thank all of our students for coming out and working tonight. We had a doubleheader here at Lowry Field, and without all of them coming and working these cameras, we wouldn't be able to do this production. And so thank you to all of our students for coming and working here tonight. Super grateful for all of them. What do we think we see here from this offense? Do we see them run the ball and kind of just let the clock go out, or do you think we see them try to stretch the field a little bit? And from this formation, it looks like a run. It's going to be a handoff to what looks like Williams.
The other team reading that really well and shutting down the operation before he can get started.
Absolutely. So Williams won't gain anything on that play. Of course, that one was Christian Williams on the carry. He's a senior, 5'11", 205 pounds. And him and Dez have been really good running back duo along with Jamarcus Smith to start this season. But it looks like the Plainsmen are taking their time here and letting the clock run out. See the umpire going and chatting with the Plainsmen, and the Plainsmen are going to run to the sidelines, and that's going to do it for the first half. Eagles on top of the Plainsmen in a dominant first half, 49-7. What a start for them here in this district opener for Coach Mike Fullen and company.
Let's hope Coach Thrash has some inspirational words for the team. See a little bit of a come around, a little bit of a comeback. It will be incredible to see how the Plainsmen come out of this transition being down 7-49.
Well, and for Coach Fullen and company, I think the message is simple for them. Keep the gas pedal down. Do everything that they did in the first half and keep that trend going, because you don't want to slip up at all and let that translate to another game. You know, just keep going and build some confidence. But 49-7 is our halftime score, and we're going to go to our halftime break. Of course, local content coming your way, and we'll be back here at Lowry Field right after this halftime break.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome into the Lubbock ISD TV studios. I'm Caleb Gowerth, a senior at Lubbock High. We hope you're enjoying the Monterey Plainsmen hosting the Abilene High Eagles. Do you enjoy volleyball like me? Good, because we have a great report in store for you. Our teams have served up some big plays to start district play, and we start with District 4-5A. After beating Monterey this past Friday, the Coronado Mustangs dropped a 3-set battle with Lubbock Cooper, and are now sitting at 1-2 in district play. Addison Andrews, Mallory Holdman, and Zakira James continue to shine as they filled the stat sheets. Currently, they're in Abilene right now facing the Eagles in their 4th district contest of the season. Speaking of an Abilene school, they went toe-to-toe with our next team, and that team is Monterey. This week, the Lady Plainsmen fell to the Abilene Wiley Bulldogs to drop their 3rd district contest of the season. But for Coach Lozada, you can tell her team is close and has tons of depth based off the box score of the game. Aniston Greaser, Lonnie Bradley, Maddie Dubree, Bella Champion, and Ari Johnson all had eye-popping stats from their last match. Currently, they're hosting Abilene Cooper at the new box. We wish them the best. Going over to Lubbock High, they had a huge celebration last week, getting their first district win of the season, but sadly lost 2 straight to follow. In the recent loss to Abilene High, Coach Leesman's team battled hard against the Eagles, but fell in 3 sets. Sakiri Diaz filled the stat sheets with 8 kills and 8 assists. Emma Boiling, Kaya Garcia, Bella Valdez, and Bailey Literal also had solid performances. Up next for the Lady Westerners is the Bulldogs from Abilene Wiley. First serve for that match is at noon tomorrow at Lubbock High. And so before we look at Estacado, let's dive into the District 4-5A race. Coronado, Lubbock High, and Monterey are all kind of clumped in the 4, 5, and 6 spots. But it is still early in district play, and a lot of things can happen. Now let's look at District 5-4A. District play hasn't started yet for Estacado, but looking at the other teams in their district, specifically their overall record, you gotta think the district race is wide open, and the Lady Mats from the Big E have a chance to do something special. Of course, they're coming off a week where they beat Idalou 3 sets to 2, and have won 2 of their last 3 matches. That's big time. Up next for the Lady Mats is their district opener. First serve against the Lady Maidens from San Angelo Lakeview is at noon tomorrow, out in Lakeview. And finally, the Talkington Lady Warriors are getting ready for a fun-filled week of homecoming activities. Like we said last week, the Lady Warriors celebrate their homecoming at a volleyball game, as they look to cut the Olsen Mustangs out of the script. But the new news of this week is that they will be having a homecoming dance. We are all excited for the Lady Warriors to walk the red carpet after playing their homecoming match. The homecoming game will take place on Tuesday, September 26th, and will be played at Estacado. And that's your volleyball report for week 5 of the high school football season. We hope you enjoy the second half of the game. We will be back next week with another volleyball report. And until then, hope you continue to serve up some aces.
Welcome to Highlights. I'm Erin Gregg, joined by our production team of Lubbock ISD TV students. Our district is proud to honor the heritage and culture of all students, and right now we are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. At Cavazos Middle School, students and staff took part in a special presentation to mark 16 de septiembre. Let's watch.
I am so excited and honored that we have the privilege to celebrate such an important day.
I am new to Cavazos. I'm the academic dean here, and one of the things that we want to make sure that our students are aware of is our culture. With our population being predominantly Hispanic, we want to bring in those valuable cultural pieces and be culturally relevant. So I think it was super important bringing 16 de septiembre in as one of our pivotal moments in history, but also to kick off our Hispanic Heritage Month.
My favorite part was when the female had a solo and she was hitting all the high notes, and that made my heart warm.
Me gustó mucho cuando cantaron. Cuando cantaron fue muy lindo, representando a México. Me gustó mucho. I love it.
It is amazing to have the partnership and the liaison that we have with our feeder pattern. The fact that we can just call up Mr. Cavazos, and who's also here with us, to be able to call him and say, hey, we're looking to do this. Are you available? And he's like, absolutely. What time do you need me there? And then for Coach Lara, like she's always been a great partner when we were at Wolfforth and coming here to Cavazos. It's been so good to just be able to have someone to call and say, we want to do this for our students. It's important, and it's just as important to them. And so they invest in us as we invest in them.
They made me feel happy because they came here last year and they put a show on for us, that they still care.
Nunca lo había hecho, me gustó, estuvo muy lindo el escenario, cómo bailaron, me gustó mucho cuando cantaron, estuvo muy lindo.
I'm hopeful that all of our students, not just our Hispanic students, but all of our students that we serve, that they understand the history of our Hispanic culture. I think it's important for all students to understand every culture that we get to serve. But for our students, I want them to know that it's important to value the people that we walk with and that we talk with and that we learn who they are and where they came from, and to appreciate where they've been, where they're going, and where they're going to be.
Evan Martin is joining us in studio today. Evan is a junior at Lubbock High School, and we are talking about a big accomplishment. So Evan, thanks for joining us.
Of course, I'm happy to be here.
So tell us about this big news that we're celebrating today about an AP exam.
Yeah, so I got a 5 on my AP art exam for 2D and design, and I guess that's the top score, and I seem to get all the checkpoints and all the perfect scores, so yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge accomplishment because you're only one out of 337 people in the world that took this exam that received a perfect score. And I understand that this is different than what people think of as a regular AP exam that you take on a piece of paper. Tell us about how you prepared for the exam.
Yes, ma'am. So the AP art exam is a digital submission, so over the course of the year you make several art pieces, and then you kind of have to choose the top 5 for your portfolio, and then you show a series of how you made the art and like your progression. So yeah, it's cool.
And tell us about how your experience in art classes here in Lubbock ISD has really prepared you for this.
So I started taking art in middle school at Hutch, and it was really fun. We just experimented with all mediums, and then as I got into high school, I focused more on graphite, which is what one of my portfolio pieces are, and then kind of from there it just took off.
And what did it feel like when you found out you had gotten a perfect score on the exam?
To be honest, when I read it, I didn't really process it. I was just like, oh yeah, I got a 5. I didn't actually read it, so it was cool when other people started like explaining it to me.
That's cool. And what do you think, a lot of times when we have representatives of cool programs like art here, we also like to ask, how do you think that these types of programs benefit students as part of their overall educational experience?
I think it's good to take the focus off of like solely academics, and it lets us to be more creative. I think for me it's important, it's like an outlet instead of being so stressed about IB and just school in general.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, we are certainly so proud of you and what you've accomplished as part of your art classes and your artwork here in Lubbock ISD. And so we'll be celebrating you more on social media and other things. And we can't wait to see what you do in the future.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Of course. Now let's go on location with Sydney Kim.
Hey everyone, we're on location at Overton Elementary where we have so many special guests here today for Career Day. Let's learn along with some Mustangs and find out more.
We are having our annual career fair, and we're super excited to welcome members of our community from different vocations, everything from chefs, police officers, mailmen, the military's represented, weathermen, weather ladies, all that. So we're super excited to have all them just to share their story with our students.
Awesome, and you have a lot of variety of different occupations here. How did you choose specialties? Because I see you have certain specialty occupation and jobs that might fit your school a little bit more. So how did you choose that?
Yes. Well, we really tried to focus on careers that were through the college route, a 4-year traditional college degree, but also to highlight vocations in our community that either getting a great start at the ATC in different vocations through that, or cooking, welding, all those kind of things, and just to show kids there's lots of options out there. A lot of our students may have an interest in the military, so we really try to foster that. Law enforcement. Anyway, we just really try to give them a wide variety going through different tracks, because we realize that a 4-year college degree is not for every student, it's not for every child, and there are so many options now, especially offered through our vocational programs, and really try to encourage them that they can be anything when they grow up.
My favorite one was the vet because I have 3 dogs at home. One is named Zazu, Zeus, and Ziva.
Who got to speak today?
Mayor Payne.
Mayor Payne, what did you learn about the mayor?
I learned that he grew up in Post.
What's one thing you look forward to learning about, maybe inside or other places you haven't been yet?
Being a farmer and milking cows.
There's a farmer over there. Why is it interesting you to be a farmer?
Because I love Milking cows.
We always ask our kids, what's your plan? You know, after graduation, what's your plan? And so we're just trying to start those conversations. It's never too early to be thinking about what you want to be when you grow up and making those plans. And as y'all know, we have classes that start even in middle school that kind of start directing our students' paths. And so really just encouraging them to have those conversations, also our parents to get involved and start just thinking about fostering their children's growth and looking to the future to follow their dreams.
It's so awesome to have so many volunteers come and help out and teach our students about future careers. Speaking of futures, if you're a middle or high school student, on October 2nd at the United Supermarkets Arena, we're going to be hosting our College and Career Fair. To learn more, go to lubbockisd.org/college. And until our next destination location, it's back to you, Aaron.
Alliance Credit Union is a strong partner for our district, and this year they did something pretty sweet. They visited all of our high schools and 2 of our middle schools before classes began to serve ice cream sundaes to staff. We caught up with the team to share more about how they support our staff and students.
I am the Vice President of Community Relations and Financial Education.
Oh my goodness, that covers a lot. So basically, what does that mean if you're doing community and financial literacy?
I get to do all the fun stuff. So I'm out to help the community know who we are and what we do and how we can make a difference in their lives, but also to educate our educators and our students about how to be financially healthy and financial wellness and all those great components.
And what are y'all doing this week? It's kind of more of a teacher appreciation thing this week.
Yes, any opportunity we get to let the teachers know that they are appreciated and what they do isn't easy, and we understand that. And so we love to go out, show them a little bit of love before school starts. We're doing Sunday bars this week and next week as well. So just to say thank you.
What kind of feedback do you get?
You know, I think it's so valuable for us to get to visit before the students come back, because then we can hear what tools and resources do they need throughout the year and how can we help provide those things. And so we have reality fairs and in-class instruction and a gamified learning system and all these things that are free for Lubbock ISD.
That's fantastic. Are y'all scheduled and ready to roll for financial literacy?
Yes, so we have a Dunbar after-school program that we have done for several years, and we're very excited about some possibilities that we may be adding in for this year. And then we already have teachers that have reached out, and throughout the entire school year, we will be at different campuses at different times doing all different styles of teaching. Alliance, we are for people, not profit, and we take that to heart. We really believe in supporting our local community. This is home, and so partnering with Lubbock ISD is just common sense thing to do, and we love the feedback we get from y'all so that we can help financial literacy spread throughout our counties, and we really appreciate the insight that y'all give us as well.
Thank you again to Alliance Credit Union for all they do for our district. If you would like to become one of our partners, let us know. We can help figure out the best way to support our schools. We also have some campuses that could benefit from a strong business partner. If you know of a local business looking to help, please share our contact information with them. Coming up on the calendar, progress reports will be sent home on Thursday, September 28th. These are for our second 3 weeks grading period. And looking ahead, we want to remind families that we will not have school on Monday, October 9th. This is in recognition of Indigenous Peoples Day. Wolfforth Elementary welcomed a new principal this year, but he's been serving our North Lubbock students for several years. Let's get to know more about Principal Cody Brockman.
I'm Cody Brockman, principal at Wolfforth Elementary. Most of my LSD career has been here in North Lubbock. And so I know the families, I know the kids, and I know kind of the situation around here in North Lubbock. Back in about 2007, I guess, I was fortunate enough to get a job at Centennial Elementary, and I was elementary PE teacher there for probably about 11 years. I was fortunate enough to get the job at Guadalupe Elementary, assistant principal there, between there and Honey for about a year. And then I was at Guadalupe for about 3 years until they closed, and and then I helped open Carmona Harrison. And so being able to open a campus and combine 3 different cultures into one, and now coming into one campus with one culture, I mean, it's, number one, it's a little easier with one campus and one culture, but on the other hand, I think my experiences of working with this community is really going to benefit me well coming into this new position and coming in here to try to help serve the, this community here. They've done some amazing things throughout the last couple of years and in the history of Wolfforth, and it's exciting to step in and help be a part of that. I've told a lot of people kind of the success that they've had here, and I said that's all on the kids and the teachers that were here. I'm just coming in, I'm trying to guide them and lead them and continue that success. I mean, just to be a part of being able to build up what's here and move that to Cavazos, and for our kids to continue within this feeder pattern to Cavazos and to Lubbock High. I mean, Lubbock High has a great history of academic success as well, and so just to be able to have our kids to have an opportunity to go from here to move on to Cavazos and up there to Lubbock High, I mean, it excites me, and to be able to kind of see them where we see them in elementary to grow throughout the years. I mean, I want to be able to see their progress, not only here at Wolfforth, but as they leave here. I want to just kind of keep an eye on them as they go through our feeder pattern to see how they do. There's a buzz within schools on the first day of school, just the excitement, and just to kind of feed off that excitement, to be able to greet the kids and families like as they come in, introduce myself, just to get to know them a little bit, just that first step, and just to be that welcoming face, that welcoming smile, to let them know, hey, we're back here at your second home. We were excited to have you back. Hope you had a great summer, and let's enjoy this school year.
We wish you a great year, Principal Brockman, and we'll introduce you to another new campus leader next week. Have you checked out our new app? It has a lot of updated features to help keep you connected with the district and your students' campus. The new app is free and easy to download. Just search for Lubbock ISD in the App Store or Google Play. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back next week to highlight more great opportunities only in Lubbock ISD.
This has been a production of the students and staff at Lubbock ISD TV.
Hello, my name is Henry.
My name is Angel.
My name is Lily.
I am one of the many Lubbock ISD TV students learning professional broadcast skills right now.
We have the opportunity to work with professional equipment during our high school sports coverage.
Learning skills that have allowed many of our students to work college sporting events with professional networks.
If you appreciate our coverage, we hope you'll consider one of our sponsorship opportunities.
Your support will help our program continue to grow, providing funds that allow us to learn using the latest broadcast and streaming technologies.
If you'd like to support us,
contact Kenneth Dixon with the information on your screen.
And thank you for watching.
Andrew Babcock is joining us in studio today. Andrew is our Executive Director of Fine Arts, and we are talking about my favorite event of the year, which is celebrating a big anniversary. So Andrew,
yes.
Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me, Erin. It's a fun time of year.
It is.
Band extravaganza is upon us again, and it is a big one. It's its 40th anniversary, so we're going to try to celebrate hard on this one. And great legacy of just celebrating fine arts in general, but obviously with band being a staple of football season and all the things this time of year. This is a big one, and we're really excited to share with the community all the things that have gone on with the programs this year.
Yeah, like I said, it's my favorite event. I love it. And for those who have never been to Band Extravaganza before, what can people expect when they show up?
Well, you're going to hear a lot of band, obviously, but it's all about giving our high school bands an opportunity to sort of pre-game their UIL showcase shows. So they're getting to finally get all of their material on the stage of the football field, and they get to present that in a quasi-competitive arena, even though it's not competitive, but in front of an audience that is very sympathetic and
right.
Open to
very
what
pro-band,
they're doing.
yes.
Pro-band,
Mm-hmm.
yes. And so it's a great opportunity for the community to see everything all at once in one space. But then we also have our middle schools there as well, and the middle school bands get to perform. They perform a piece on the opposite side of the field, and then they also get a chance to do something together as an ensemble. So it's going to be an event that you're familiar with if you've been there, but we're going to add some additional things in there as well for this special 40th anniversary.
Well, and I think one of the coolest things is at the very end of the event, when we have the grand finale and all of our middle and high school band students are on the field at the same time, is incredible. But in addition to the Lubbock ISD band students, we also have some other partners that kind of bookend the event.
Yes.
So tell us about them.
Yeah, so Lubbock Christian University is going to be there. They're going to perform the national anthem. And then we have the Going Band from Raiderland will be there as well to perform loud and proud right there in the middle. And so that's a huge highlight. It's a great opportunity for our crowd to see that, but our students to also take that all in as well. So very inspiring.
Yes. And so can you tell us any details about the 40th anniversary celebration?
Yes, we have a very special opportunity this year to do something that it'd be a very unique, I guess, event. With VIP access. We are having a dinner for 100 people, first 100 people. It's $40 a ticket, and the proceeds of that will go to student scholarships. And so we're looking forward to trying to see how we can support our kids as they advance their education beyond high school, but then to be able to give them the means to be able to go there. I mean, it's a lot of work to do those types of things, but we think it's going to be a special event that will not only give backstage access to some things for the event itself, but also really advance our kids' opportunities for further education.
Well, we're going to have all the details about this on our website. Yes. And so just give us the rundown, like date, time, and where you can get tickets.
Okay, so if you want to go to the Lubbock ISD website, you can click from there, but lubbockisd.org/band will take you there. There's also a QR code for you to have easy access to secure tickets. Again, the VIP tickets are $40, but general admission is $6, and we'll take your cash when you get there if you if you need to do that there as well.
Yeah, Tuesday, September 26th.
Tuesday, September 26th, 7:30, be there. There's nothing better going on in town.
I totally agree. Well, Andrew, thanks for being with us, and we'll have you back sometime this year to talk about all the great things happening in fine arts in Lubbock ISD.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
All right, welcome back to Lowry Field at Plains Capital Park. We got 5 minutes until halftime is officially over, and this game through the first half has been all Eagles. If you're an Abilene High fan, tonight has been your night here at Lowry Field at Plains Capital Park. We got some highlights to get into from the first half, and starting things off, it was a fumble on the opening kickoff. It was a muffed kick, and this really what got the things rolling, right, Jonas, for Abilene High. Monterey wasn't able to capitalize on catching the ball there and losing it. Abilene High is going to score here. Henry, scampers in for the score. That was a 6-yard touchdown run. It was an impressive drive, 3 plays, 27 yards. The next one was a 4-play, 37-yard touchdown drive, capped off by Dylan Slack, the QB keeper. After that, Dylan Slack is going to pass it to Henry. This capped off a 2-play, 15-yard drive. They were up 21-0. They had prime field position on those 3 drives. Of course, this is another touchdown. This one is going to be Dylan Slack passing it to Jackson Howell. Yes, sir. Give him 6. Of course, that made it 28-7 in the game. And we do want to showcase the one Monterey touchdown that they did get. It was Jamarcus Smith carrying the handoff, 76 yards, losing his shoe along the way right there, and going all the way to the house. Those are some of the highlights from the first half. The score, of course, 49-7. You want to dive into the stats, Jonas? You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. Okay. Ooh, a great moonshot right there. Shout out to our crew. Here's some of our stats from the first half, and I believe that was Xavier that got the shot. All right, you see it. The numbers never lie. Abilene High had themselves a great first half. 284 total yards compared to 83 total yards. The first downs is what screams at me. 16 first downs to 1 first down. That's something that's got to change for Monterey if they want to get back into this ball game. Another thing that stands out to me, Abilene High averaged 8.1 yards per play. That's big time. And so there you go, your stats from the first half. Coming up right now, you see the teams down there on the field right now as we get ready for this second half. And I could only imagine what was said in that locker room at halftime if you're a part of the Monterey football team. And actually, we have an interview. Let's send it down to our sideline reporter with this great interview. All right, thanks so much, Sanaya. We appreciate you grabbing Coach for us right there, and we're getting things ready and getting ready to roll after halftime. And man, of course, you want to see something if you're Monterey. You want to see a spark on the offensive side of the ball, and the first thing you want to do is see a stop on the defensive side of the ball, right, Jonas?
Yes, we do. And let's hope that Coach Thresh had said some inspiring words in that. But we're waiting to see how both teams fare out in the last half of this game. Halftime coming to a close here in a minute 50. And we're going to see the tale of time. Let's see if Monterey makes an amazing comeback. Let's see if the Eagles keep on such a pressure.
Okay, so we're going to take one more quick pause, okay? We got a minute and a half until we get things rolling. We're going to take one final pause before we get the second half kicked off. Hey, everybody, share with his friends. Let's get this thing rolling again here in the second half. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hello, my name is Henry.
My name is Angel. My name is Lily.
I am one of the many Lubbock ISD TV students learning professional broadcast skills right now.
We have the opportunity to work with professional equipment during our high school sports coverage.
Learning skills that have allowed many of our students to work college sporting events with professional networks.
If you appreciate our coverage, we hope you'll consider one of our sponsorship opportunities.
Your support will help our program continue to grow, providing funds that allow us to learn using the latest broadcast and streaming technologies.
If you'd like to support us,
Contact Kenneth Dixon with the information on your screen.
and
Thank you for watching.
Hello, my name is Emma. My name is Lily.
My name is Henry.
And I'm one of the many Lubbock ISD TV students
learning professional broadcast skills right now.
But we also do a lot more.
We have many student-produced shows
that allow us to grow our video storytelling,
producing, and hosting skills.
You can check out our work at any time at LubbockISDTV.com.
Or follow us on your favorite social media platform. We're on Facebook,
Twitter,
or X, or whatever they call it.
Whatever they call it nowadays.
Instagram,
and don't forget Threads.
And of course,
Lubbock ISD YouTube channel.
If you like our content, please show us
by hitting that thumbs up button.
Even better, share our stories so people can see the great things happening in Lubbock ISD.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Now back to the game.
Like they just said, leave us a thumbs up, right? That's what we want. We want to be able to see how many people are watching. And I think earlier in the second half, I called for, if you're an Abilene High fan, give us a thumbs up on the video because we'd love to hear from, all of our fans. So let's take a look at an awesome shot of the teams coming back out on the field. You see them already out there, but being a part of the tunnel and running out, there's nothing that beats that right there, right, Jonas?
Nothing. There's just so much energy that comes out right there, and honestly, it's incredible to watch all these guys, these young men coming in and pushing something out, and you can really see that when they're coming through the tunnel, the mindset, the energy of the players.
Shout out to Carson Ward down there for getting that awesome shot. Takes guts to follow the team through there, and he did that, that's for sure. Hey, we want to give a shout out to the ACU coaches, Abilene Christian coaches that are watching us in Arkansas. I want to say, I don't know what job he's running tonight, but our technical manager at Lubbock ICTV, Nathan Edgar, wanted me to give a shout out to J. Rel Badon and the coaching staff at ACU, so shout out to them. Go Cats, right? Wherever they're playing this week.
Yes, sir. Go Cats.
Hey, there you go.
Wish you guys such an amazing season.
Yeah, ACU has a really awesome TV program that we've gone and toured multiple times with our students. All right, Gio Cardenas has kicked this thing off, and he'll put it in the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles are going to start their first drive of the second half from the 25-yard line. So at what point in this game, if the Eagles continue to stack some points on the scoreboard, Jonas, do we start seeing some new people checking into the ball game?
We might. I mean, it's a thing that time will only tell here.
Yeah, it's a tale as old as time, is what you said earlier, right?
Yes, it is. There's 2 ways that this could go, and honestly, everybody's excited to see how it's going.
Yeah, I wanna. If you're Monterey, you want to see them start stacking some success. Checking in at quarterback right now is Braden Henry. Henry has been sensational tonight. He has been a big reason why they've been able to stack some success on the offensive end. And it's going to be a quarterback keeper right here, trying to cut it back inside, and he's going to go down for a loss on the play. It'll be a sack for the Monterey Plainsmen. See here on the instant replay, he had multiple options, right? This is the RPO style of offense that this Eagles team loves to run, and he had an option there to throw it, he had an option there to run it, and he decided to tuck it and run right there. Trying to find some of the stats from the first half. There it is, there's my stat sheet. 2nd down and 12. I'm gonna dive more into those in a second. It's gonna be a running back keeper, and gaining maybe a yard. Chad Lara there getting swallowed up by that Monterey defense.
The Monterey defensive coming out with huge energy right now, a lot more than we saw at the end of the first half, and we're just gonna see if they can keep this energy up, and it might turn something around for the Plainsmen.
So going into some of the stats from the first half, Braden Henry has 4 carries for 27 yards. Lara has 11 carries for 36 yards. But mostly they've been getting it through the air. Dylan Slack has been really impressive. 15 attempts, 14 completions. Henry takes off and runs. He's going to get the first down and more. Getting slung out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Simply stated, that young man is next level talent. See him here gliding through the pocket, doing what he's supposed to do as a quarterback, and then taking off and run. That's a whole nother element that the defense has to be accountable for, right? Whenever you're out there, you see the quarterback, he has to run. And so I guarantee you they have a spy linebacker on him right now. As the Monterey Plainsman is down on the field right now. Struggling to get up right here. Of course, the officials are going to be calling a timeout in just a second. The Monterey Plainsman that is currently down right now is Zach White. He's one of the senior linebackers, and he's one of the top tacklers on this team defensively. Still down on the field. It's going to be a UMC Children's Hospital timeout, though, because the officials are going to be calling the teams to the sidelines. And I want to talk about Band Extravaganza one more time. You heard it about a few times in the halftime show. We have our Band Extravaganza coming up on 7 o'clock on Tuesday of this upcoming week, September 26th. We'll be presenting that game here on YouTube. And we're so grateful that we get to do this and be a part of that, because it's one of the more fun nights of the year. I was talking with our sideline reporter during halftime, and she told me that the student section down there, Jonas, for Monterey. Oh, and before I talk about the student section down there for Monterey, remind me, Jonas, here is how you can get a ticket for Band Extravaganza. Scan the URL code and go support our bands and the students that go out there and put on a show every week during halftime.
If you love music, go ahead, sign up. There's still tickets available.
There is. So here we are, 2nd and 10. So the band and of course the drum line down there, but the student section, Jonas, apparently is still rocking and rolling down there and still trying to bring the energy for this Monterey team.
I feel like the crowd's going to be a huge factor here. A lot of times the crowd can give a huge momentum boost, especially when coming down, just hearing everybody that you know or people that you might not even know cheering for you, hoping that you do well. And it's just such a supporting and emotional factor in any match or any game that you might play.
Couldn't agree more. Here's 3rd down and 8. Clock is rolling. It's Henry. 3-step drop. Looking over the middle. Great ball. Trying to hit a receiver. Tried to high point it. It was a battle between Cash Lewis and I believe Bryson Perez. And the ball falls incomplete.
Cash Lewis made an incredible interception there.
That was Rylan Bradford, and that ball will fall incomplete, and it's going to be 4th down and 8. You see here on the instant replay, Cash Lewis doing a great job. He saw the ball, and he had his eyes on the ball. He tried to jump in and deflect it there. So here comes the punt unit. The 2nd time tonight that Monterey has forced a punt. This is a major victory for them as they start the 2nd half.
Again, it's a little bit about something with the momentum there.
That was a spiral punt that cuts out of bounds and will land at the 16-yard line. Great punt there by Abilene's John Miles Wagstaff. That's picture-perfect kind of stuff right there, right? Kick it to where it kicks, you know, it'll spin and go out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. Couldn't have drawn it up even better.
The Plainsmen are coming out with a little bit more fire in this situation. They're pushing out, and they're doing it with a lot more energy. Whatever Coach Thrash said in there, it's definitely gotten to the players.
We'll see if it translates on offense. It helped with the defense. Of course, Coach Thrash is a really defensive-minded head coach, and they go to the I formation here, 12 personnel. It's going to be a handoff on first down. Williams is going to get swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage by a whole slew of Eagles. He had nowhere to go on that play, Christian Williams. I see some of our former Lubbock ISD TV students down there. Tolliver's down there with his camera. You love to see it.
Our program is, again, training professionals, and it's really awesome to see all the people and how they progress through life and the opportunities that they are given.
It's and then it's like taking what we've given you and running with it, right? He went and purchased his own camera, and now he's out there producing, after graduation, producing his own videos. It's really cool. All right, second down and 12. Williams with the handoff again, and wow, great defense once again. It's the linebackers at that second level going and filling the gap that was initially open and not allowing nothing on that play. You see it here on the instant replay. Trying to cut it back in. Des Williams had nothing going there. So here's third down and 13. Already 4 minutes into this second half. Jamarcus Smith running back out there on the field. Of course, he had a big first half. He was the one that had the big touchdown run for the Plainsmen. Currently coming into the second half, because this will be his first rep at running back. He had 10 attempts for 81 yards. And it'll be a handoff for him on the counter. And he'll be grabbed by the neck and taken down. It's going to be fourth down and long. That's a tough tackle right there, Jonas.
Yes, it was. And we're going to see that here on the replay.
Yeah, great counter right there, but he was tackled high and taken down immediately. 4th and 10, and the punt team's coming back out for Monterey. So if you're into recruiting and all that different kind of stuff, I remember last year Ryan was telling me, of course Ryan is the punter for Monterey, Ryan Jordan. He told me that he was a 4-star punter, and that's kind of cool. He was going to all these punting camps and doing all these cool things, and he had a pretty good punt earlier today. Let's see if he can do it again. Great snap this time. Had some pressure in his face. And the ball will be caught at the 50-yard line. And tackled by his feet and stumbling forward for a few more. And that's where the Eagles will start. After that return by DeMarco Upshaw. See, Upshaw, if he was able to break past that, he could have gone for a few more yards, but a flag did come flying in. And we're going to hear from our head official, Kelly Robinson, for the first time in the second half. He's talking to his line judge right here, wanting to make sure he gets the call right. Here he is.
Good return. Pressure foul. Hands to face. Number 3 on the return team. 15-yard penalty. First down.
All right, so hands to the face on the return team, and it's going to back them up after that solid return right there. The field position is not as nice, as they'll be starting at their own 48-yard line instead of the opposing 30-something. Looking at the Abilene High sidelines, we're grateful for our camera crew out here working tonight. You know, this Abilene High offense has shown tonight that they are a big play waiting to happen. Coming into tonight, they had 4 scoring plays with at least one in each game that was more than 40 yards. I believe they've already had that tonight with the over-the-top pass into the end zone, so they continue that streak. But you got to love that if you're Coach Mike Fullen, like having that big play ability in your back pocket, right?
Yeah, it's huge to have that. And speaking on that on the offensive line for the Abilene Eagles, they've just shown that they're a gun ready to shoot every single time. And we're going to see if the Plainsmen are enough to stop that.
All right, second down and 3, 6:23 to go. It's Henry back in at quarterback. I kind of like this dual quarterback thing that they got going on, because it gives a lot of options for this defense to have to think about, spinning and rumbling his way forward towards a first down, move the chains. The Eagles are cooking here to start the second half. Of course, Chad Laura on the carry. So quickly back at it again is Henry in the shotgun with Laura to his right. Now to his left. A quick pass on the slant. Caught and regathering himself to gain a few on the play is Jackson Howe.
The Plainsmen defensive have really stepped their game up from the first half, and we're seeing a lot of better plays and a lot more aggression toward the ball when they're in play, when it's in the Eagles' hands.
Absolutely, yeah. You want to, if you're Coach Thrash, you want to see your team flying down the field, right? Forget what the scoreboard says. Pretend like it's 0-0 and keep fighting and scratching and giving everything you got. 2nd and 5. 5 players moving pre-snap there for the Eagles as they continue to melt this clock. Henry has a lot of green grass in front of him. He had the option to pitch it, and he kept it. He sidestepped and has a lot of green in front of him, and he's going to get close to the end zone, gets pushed out of bounds at the 2-yard line, maybe the 3-yard line. What a play. He is so elusive. Look at this instant replay here, Jonas. He faked out the defender and showed his breakaway speed and gained a ton on the play.
He was really close to a touchdown there, but was just taken down and maybe a yard away from the end zone. Trying to take it home, trying to get another touchdown, and the Monterey defensive about hoping to show their strengths here, showing that they have the fire inside.
Pistol formation here for the Eagles. It's going to be Laura on the carry, getting met instantly as he got the ball and dropped at about the 4-yard line. It's going to be a loss of 1 on the play. They continue to feed the ball to Laura, and it's been so fun to watch him and Henry do the RPO and execute it to perfection.
It has been a lot of fun, and the Monterey defensive really just showing it and pushing it back. They got backyard in that situation, and even though they gave it to Laura, they pushed through, and they did it. They successfully defended. And I think it's just those tiny little wins that are going to build on the mental strength of the defense. And the more they do that, the more they're just going to build up and the better they're going to do over time.
Here's 2nd and 4. Henry's keeping it, kind of stuffed at the line, but continued to power his way forward. He's going to gain a few on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and about 2. I love the way he lowered his shoulder right there, right? He's committed to trying to get those extra yards and trying to hit that pay dirt once again as he stretches forward and comes up just short. Great camera angle there on camera 5 for our awesome crew. The Eagles patiently taking their time here on this drive. They're eating a ton of this clock as they're up big. Looks like Slack's back in the game at quarterback, so they're going to go I formation. Laura is the deep back. It's going to be a dive up the middle, and oh, great job by the Monterey defense.
They're really stopping that momentum right there. It's like stopping a full semi-truck coming at you, and they're doing a great job. They're pushing back, and they're dealing with the pressure, and they're doing amazing things right now. Let's see if they can continue to defend this.
Austin Rivas coming in and lowering his shoulder. The low man won right there as he lost about a yard on the play. It's 4th and 1 from the 1. Slack still in at quarterback. Laura in the I formation. Earlier today, we saw a fullback score a touchdown. Will we see it again? No, it's Laura. Yes, sir. Give him 6. Touchdown, Eagles. Chad Laura continues to find the blue turf, and the Eagles continue to pad the scoreboard. They're up 55-7. The Eagles brought their A game tonight. They elevated their play. And they're primed to start District 1-0. The extra point up and good. It's now 56-7. The Eagles on their first drive in the second half go 40, 55 plus yards down the field and score to extend their lead.
And we saw that they got that touchdown, but the Monterey defensive did an amazing job of stopping that. And even though they in the end ended up with the touchdown, the Monterey defensive just did not give up. It's a lot more fire than we saw in the first half.
They made them earn it, that's for sure. The Eagles had to drive their way down the field on multiple plays that eventually did, like Jonas said, lead them to the end zone. But I kind of like what you said there, right? They had to claw and chip and fight their way to get there. You know, as we make it through, today is the official, after this game, we'll be halfway through the season. And the question is for a lot of our teams is, what is the health situation for your team? For Monterey, as the season is going along, they're getting guys back. But the best part is that they're having guys step up. When players go out with injury, it helps build depth. That's what Coach Thrash says, right? So Coach Thrash has been really pleased with how his guys are filling in and stepping up. Right, because it builds depth because they're getting experience. And once those initial starters come back, the backup now has experience, and that's great.
It's really awesome because that experience is something that just truly is important and really matters.
It's invaluable, right?
Yeah, and the fact that we're having the chance to put both backup and the regular main lineup on it, and the fact that they're getting both of them are getting the experience is just awesome, and it's going to be amazing to see the current growth.
They continue to kick to this close right side of the field. Of course, that was Christian Williams on the return, and really nothing going for him here. It's when they let the ball bounce off of the turf is when Abilene High has enough time to get down the field. I think the key is for the Plainsmen is try to catch it in the air and make something happen with it. So back comes this Monterey offense. See Jamarcus Smith back out there and Luke Arrington. And it looks like they're going to be doing what Abilene High was doing as they finished out that last drive, starting out in the I formation. Jamarcus Smith with the handoff and couldn't get past that initial line of contact by that defensive line. It's going to be a loss on the play. So when I do research, Jonas, okay, I look for different avenues to find different things to talk about during the game, right? I don't just go to one place. I go to about 50, no lie. Went to Twitter, now X, right? Whatever it's called nowadays. And Coach Folan posts a lot on Twitter, a good amount. And like any good coach, he tweets about the school and other sports, but what I saw was a lot of mentality things. It's like stack the hay was like that kind of thing, right? Putting in the work to be able to reap the benefits later. And I really liked what he was posting on Twitter. It was really fun to see.
And it's always really cool to see a coach that really does care about his team, and it's also really cool to see a coach when he just wants to put information and experience and all of those things that you were talking about in his players' heads. And you can see that in the reflection on the field, and you can see that on the face of the coaches on the sidelines.
Yeah, they're practicing what he preaches, is what you're trying to say right there. And he, and of course, you know, you love it whenever they support the other programs and the athletic programs and the other things happening at Abilene High, and he supports all of them, and that was cool to see on Twitter. So I believe we have a sideline report. You ready for a sideline report, Jonas?
Yes, we are.
All right, let's send it down to Sanaya McCullough. She has an interview with somebody. Take it away.
I heard that y'all guys had UIO competition tryouts this upcoming year. What can we expect from the cheerleaders?
Good group of girls show out. We kept 27 of them, and we're really excited. Our competition is in January in Fort Worth. Last year we were Lubbock ISD's top-ranked school, and we expect the same thing from them this year.
Okay, thank you. And also with that, how long do y'all work during the school year to get prepared for this?
So we started on Wednesday, and we will work, every week up until January. So.
Do you guys do mornings and nights?
Mainly in the evenings. Yep.
All right, thank you so much. Back to you, Mr. Ward.
All right, thank you, Sanaya. Last few seconds here in the third quarter, and it looks like they're going to let the clock wind all the way down, and that's going to do it for the third quarter. The Eagles put 7 more up on the board and blank the Monterey Plainsmen there in the third quarter, but now Monterey has the ball, and they have a chance to be able to do something here. We'll be back with more action here at Lowry Field at Plains Capital Park. Right after this short break, you're watching Lubbock ISD football presented by Lubbock ISD TV on our YouTube channel. We'll be back right after this.
I don't hear it through the mic.
Okay, and we're back. The punt team out on the field for Monterey. Ryan Jordan sending that one sky high, and it allowed his defenders down there, Jonas, to have enough time to get down the field and, you know, lock down the punt returner. So here comes Abilene High again. And of course, we're getting our stats from the third quarter through 3 quarters, and we're grateful. Thank you so much. Some of the stats that stick out, of course, first downs is really what stands out to me. Abilene High has 20 first downs tonight, and Monterey has 1. Rushing yards, 118 for Abilene High, for 87 for Monterey. Passing yards, 241 for Abilene High, 0 for Monterey. Those are some eye-popping stats right there. Abilene High has showed up and showed out. It's going to be a reverse here on first down. Not a lot of Plainsmen in front of them. Getting pushed out of bounds. Great run there to get this drive going for Abilene High. Of course, the ball carrier right there was Bryson Perez. Called Perez's name a few times tonight. Going back into the stats, though, time of possession, 7 minutes more. Abilene High has the ball than Monterey. Penalties, Abilene High has 5 penalties compared to Monterey's 1. But Abilene High's forced 2 turnovers. It was the interceptions in the first half. And so those are some of your stats from the first half. And again, total yards, 359 for Abilene High, 87 for Monterey.
And we can really see Abilene High just taking advantage of those little windows that they see and just threading through the needles.
Absolutely, yeah, that's great insight right there. And that's what it's all about, right? Take what the defense gives you, and they're taking advantage of what Monterey's defense is giving them. First time carrying the ball today is Dezon McGee. McGee's a senior. And that's a great patient run right there, right? He did a little stutter step, waiting for the seam to open up, and it was behind the left tackle. And what was first down and 15 is now second down and 2. Slack kind of drops that one, but manages to come away with it and then throws it out of bounds. Smart play there by the quarterback. Hey, want to give a shout out to your family watching tonight, huh? You want to give them a shout out?
Thank you to the Ormonds for tuning in tonight.
Yeah.
And thank you for everybody else tuning in. Make sure you're liking and subscribing to the Lubbock ISD TV. We've gone up to 25 likes. It really helps us to get on your algorithms so you can see more of our content and more of our students doing amazing things with the technologies that are given to us. So again, make sure you're liking and subscribing, and let's see if we can hit that 1.6K followers by the end of this.
That'd be big time. Oh, and I don't know if he was able to haul it in. No, it's going to go down as an incomplete catch. Bobbling that there for Abilene High was Adrian Munoz. And you'll see here on the instant replay, it was going in and out of his hands right there. And it was the tackle by the Monterey defender that caused them to lose control of the ball. So now it's 4th down and 2. And Abilene High still out on the field. Of course, they're at their 38-yard line, so this is prime field position to do this, right, Jonas?
Yes, it is, and we're going to see.
Of course, they've been really successful tonight on 3rd down and 4th down plays. Here's their 4th and 2. Going to the air, Slack. It's going to be caught at the 34-yard line, and that's going to be just enough to get the first down. Move the chains, Jackson Howell with the reception. You good there?
Yes, I am. Thank you for asking.
Of course, we're grateful for all 300 of our people tuning in tonight. Super grateful for everybody. Of course, this game is being presented by the students and staff of Lubbock ISD TV. We have students across the board working all these positions. Of course, Jonas, I've said it a million times, he's a freshman at Monterey. And to me, that's really cool because it takes a lot of guts to get up here. It takes some courage to want to sign up to be in this spot. As that pass is caught, and will be a solid gain on first down. Because it's nerve-wracking, right? It's there's a lot of adrenaline that goes into this. I'm the mean teacher that makes them do homework to be up here, to be prepared for the game, and there's a lot that goes into this.
And it may sound tough, but it's really not that bad. You just have to know what you're doing, and sometimes that's a little difficult knowing what you're doing.
So here's 2nd down. Great run there up the middle, powering forward, move the chains. The Eagles continue this drive. See here on the instant replay, Dezon McGee had a huge gap. Tip your cap to the offensive lineman there for making a seam for him there, and now move the chains. Man, and McGee looks like a great running back himself, just looking at him. He looks like a game changer, a playmaker. Here's 1st and 10 from the 21. McGee carries it here. Gain of about 4 on the play as he cut it back up. You'll take 4 yards every down, right?
Yes, we will. And sometimes it just inches closer and closer to those end zones, and it just yards closer and closer to another goal.
So we do have a Monterey Plainsmen down on the field right now. Of course, your timeout right here is presented by UMC Children's Hospital. Thank you to them for supporting us and always taking care of all of our youth here on the South Plains. The Plainsman that is down right now is Des Williams, and we're going to take a pause real quick. We'll be back here at Lowry Field at Plains Capital Park right after this short break. We'll give you an update on what we know right after this. Okay, welcome back. We see Williams back up on his feet, and I was told by our truck we have a look at what exactly happened on that play. And whenever we have a chance, let's take a look at it. Here it is, Jonas. He was going low for the tackle and made contact. Ooh, and then of course the hit there, as you know, number 8 was falling down on him. But you got to think it's got to be the shoulder, right? As he was making that tackle.
His shoulder looks a little lazy looking at the...
Yeah, you can see that he's like he's holding on, right?
He's holding on. We're going to see if he's going to be able to come back onto the field or if he's off for sure. Let's just hope that he's okay.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about, right? Des Williams. We hope he's okay, and of course the Plainsmen need him. He's a pivotal part of their running attack, and as we see here, he's playing some big snaps on the defensive end, and so we hope he's okay, and he'll be ready to roll for the Plainsmen's next 5 games after this. So he's now off the field, and we're getting ready to get the ball rolling once again. 2nd down and 5 from the 16. Now the clock is starting to roll once again. Slack in the shotgun. It's going to be a handoff to McGee. And the Monterey defense said, no, sir. It's going to be 3rd down. They swarmed him there, Jonas, and didn't let him have a chance.
They really pushed in. This is this quarter in general is just a huge improvement from what we saw in the first half and the first couple quarters. The defensive is coming out with such fire, and if they could just see the little wins, then there's a lot that we could do. And the same thing with the Eagles on their offensive. They're taking little things. They're taking advantage of that, and they're going, and they're pushing hard, and it's shown by the score right now.
L.A. Williams was the one on the tackle right there. I'll tell you this, it was 49-7 at halftime. It's 56-7. We have 8 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. So like you talked about, the Monterey defense has found little wins here and there. They've gotten off the field multiple times, and that was almost intercepted. Slack didn't see the defender there trying to step in front of it. That defender there that had the hands on it was Elijah Turner, the linebacker. And we'll take another look at it again. Slack knew where he was going on that play, and Turner tried to step in front of it and get an interception just in and out of his hands.
You can see a little bit of anger on the field there as he punched the turf, but we're going to see if the Plainsmen can continue on with the push that in the fight that we've seen and the little bit of wind that seems like they're picking up some momentum here.
Luis Flores kicking the field goal, and that's up and good. And so the Eagles put 3 more on the board with an impressive kick there, and that extends their lead. Scratch that. That was Neem Segura with that field goal, and he put it up and in. I wanted to make sure I got his name right there, because that's important, getting names right.
It is very important, making sure that the athletes that are working harder get their names recognized.
Right, getting that recognition. Absolutely. And one of these days we'll do one of your tennis matches, huh?
Yes, we
Hey,
will.
Wouldn't that be cool? You'd be calling the game while you're playing the game. That'd be kind of interesting,
Sure.
huh? We kind of see that with Major League Baseball nowadays, where they mic up a player and they interview them while they're playing their certain position. That'd be kind of cool to see in the tennis world, huh?
It'd be a huge improvement, and there's a lot of people that are really unwilling to change the tennis world because it's been around for a long time. But I think, especially for Americans, it would be amazing to see a change like that in the tennis world. And honestly, it'd be awesome if we could get first-person perspectives on the football field.
Yeah.
Helmet cams, it would be a lot of money, and it would be a lot of work every time that they broke. But it would be amazing to see what it actually looks like to be inside the helmet on the field.
Well, and I think the Miami Dolphins did that with their quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. They, in practice, put a helmet cam on him so that when they're in film study, they can watch what he's seeing in each play. And so I like that first-person look brings a unique look. In baseball, another example that they've been able to do this is the umpire cameras. Right? They put a camera on the umpire's face mask, and they're able to see what they see on the field.
And it just kind of snoops out and shows something a little bit different in the game, something that you might not see. You might look at a sport and be like, I feel like I could do that, but then you really think about it, and then you really see what it's like to be in there, and then something different kind of happens. And you're like, oh, there's a reason why these people are getting paid, or there's a reason why these people are in varsity.
Yep.
And all of these different things kind of come to a light.
I always tell my students in our audio-video production class, take me somewhere where I can't go. Show me something I don't normally see. Those first-person looks would be something that would be really cool to see. 1st and 10, Jamarcus Smith now at quarterback. It's going to be a handoff to the other Williams. This time it's going to be Christian Williams. They're trying to push it forward, but the play's blown dead, and it's going to be a loss of a half a yard on that play. The Eagles defense continues to flex their muscles tonight and stop the run, stop everything that Monterey's been able to throw at them. Besides that one long touchdown run by Jamarcus Smith, the Monterey offense hasn't really been able to get anything going tonight.
No, they haven't, but maybe right here, maybe this huddle, this might show something different. The Eagles already have something super good, but who knows, maybe a little bit of a comeback, maybe a little bit of gas, maybe a little bit of wind.
If you're Monterey, you want to see them have something positive here. 7 minutes to go in this ball game. Jamarcus Smith, a direct snap quarterback design keeper, as he continues to keep those wheels churning. He gets a gain of 7 on that play. Great run there by Jamarcus Smith. Of course, Smith, an emotional leader, a fiery guy on this team, a dual sport athlete that can bring it on the pitcher's mound for Monterey. He is an all-star for the school and for these programs.
And it's also back to the point of being an emotional leader. It is really important to have a good emotional vibe on both offensive and defensive And if DeMarcus can bring it and he can bring something up, then it's just a different game. We see a different Monterey out on the field. And same thing with offensive. When they have that emotional leader, they see something different. We have a different emotional feel to it, and you can see that as the players play.
Smith there trying to get the yard or two that he needed on that play, and it's going to come down to the spot if he was able to get everything. The line judge, of course, having to go talk to Jamarcus Smith after the play right there. But it looks like they got enough to move the chains, and they're moving it now. So solid run there by Jamarcus Smith, and you see why he was fired up right there. After the play was blown dead, he gets slung down. And so here we are, 1st and 10. We're under 6 minutes to go here in the 4th. I'm trying to see, Jonas, if we were able to reach our goal of 1,600, and we did. We hit it. Thank you to everybody that has subscribed to our YouTube channel tonight. We are now at 1.6 thousand YouTube subscribers.
Make sure to also go check out the Lubbock ISD Instagram. We're trying to raise our following there. Again, it just helps us get out in the world and show the world what we are doing with our students and with our programs.
Yep. Lubbock ISD TV, Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all the things. Producing professionals is what we're doing here, and we're super proud of that. Our producer says she loves the promotion. There we go. Always promoting, right? That's what we do.
And if you're more familiar with X than it being called Twitter, make sure you go follow us on X/Twitter.
I'm still not used to that. I'm pretty sure we had a bunch of our third years record a video and they said whatever it's called, and that's kind of how I feel about it, right? They just changed it. And is it still a tweet? I don't know, but I'm still calling it Twitter. All right, 2nd down and 2, 4:40 to go. Arrington's back in the game, and he's going to hand it off to Williams. Williams cutting it back up. Great run there by Christian Williams as he falls forward to the 33-yard line.
Amazing yard gain from the Monterey offensive. That might be something. That is a huge win right there. That might be something that we're talking about, that mental energy, something that keeps them going. That little bit of a second win that is super important when you're playing sports. Mental, it's almost 4 times, 10 times. The mental side is way more important than the physical side. Yeah, you have to be able to have the muscle memory, and you train that. But when you get on the field, when you get on the courts, it's all about the mental side.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about in the first half, right? The former Tech coach that talked about 4-1.
We're seeing a huge mental change and improvement in both the offensive and defensive here in the last quarter.
And you want to see that from Monterey as they continue on, because, right, this is district game number 1 for them. They have many more to come in the coming weeks. And so you want to see them have some success towards this end of this game so that they have something to build on as they continue on. Of course, we're down to the final few minutes here.
It's always important to have fun when you're playing, too. That is a huge thing and another huge thing for the mental side of the game. We got 3:30 left in this quarter, and let's see if the offensive has something to turn this around.
Our producer was telling us, talking to us in our ear right there. Sorry about that, Jonas. So Monterey is driving. And that was probably their second biggest offensive play that we just saw moments ago by Christian Williams of the game. Arrington looking to air it out to Cash Lewis. That is a deep ball, and Lewis had it in and out of his hands.
It was really close. Cash Lewis really made an attempt there, but he was being pressured by somebody coming up and riding his tail.
Yeah,
and it was a tough catch.
The cornerback there was all over him. And you'll see here on this instant replay, he had his hand on it. Great stuff there by the cornerback, Gotti Gomez, not allowing Cash Lewis to be able to haul that in. And like we were talking about earlier, it limits them from being able to build anything positive going for them. So here's 3rd down and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Let's see if the Plainsmen offensive can make another big play, something to give a second wind, even though they may not have caught that. In my book, that's a huge win on the mental side.
Right. Here's another carry by Christian Williams. Goes out of bounds at about the 16-yard line, and it's going to, again, come down to the spot. Did they get enough to move the chains? And the line just says yes. Big play there by Monterey.
And it's something, again, it's just those small wins that build and build and build.
I'm loving the wins. We'll see if they can continue to get those small wins that lead to the blue turf down there. Of course, this Monterey team is young. They got a lot of sophomores and a lot of juniors in this Monterey sophomore class. really stands out. They are a deep class for the Plainsmen. The sophomore class has Deuce Moore, Avery Davis, Q Boyd, and so many others. The 10th graders at MHS show that the future of this program is just going to keep going up. As that play goes for a loss, it's going to be second down and a little bit longer there, maybe second down and 15.
Working on those sophomores in the future is going to be a huge thing for Coach Thrash and the other coaches of Monterey, because it just builds up that experience for them. Right. It gives them something that a lot of people may not have had the opportunity to get until they were juniors or seniors. And it's just huge that we have younger players on the field, meaning that going into their senior year, we're going to have a more seasoned team, and they're ready and they're going to have experienced a lot more.
We're going to continue this conversation about experience and gaining experience right after this. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back with more. It's 59-7. Eagles on top. Go back to Cash Lewis in that end zone, and he does. Give him 6. Touchdown. Luke Arrington throws a 22-yard dart to Cash Lewis, and the Plainsmen get on the board here in the second half.
Cash Lewis just made a redemption, and the Plainsmen showing that when you fly a little bit too close to the sun, that your wings get burnt off.
You've been holding that line in for a while, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I've been waiting for that touchdown.
During halftime. Cash Lewis, that was a great pass and catch, and again, Lewis is the top target for this offense, and if they can get him involved in the offense, this offense can really make something happen.
This was that little bit of momentum shift I was talking about, and the crowd may have really helped with this too. That's a huge thing. The offense just got a huge win again. Their second touchdown of the game.
I think a lot of it, what was helping them was, right, some of the dominoes started falling their way on that drive, right? Everything seemed to be going Abilene High's way through the first 3 quarters of this game, but here in the fourth quarter, the Plainsmen were able to find a little bit of success, and it kept happening for them, leading to that eventual touchdown pass, the 22-yard pass from Arrington to Cash Lewis. Now we're about to hear from our officials. There was a flag on that play, so the officials are talking to each other down there around the 10-yard line, and we're going to hear from Kelly Robinson.
You're the kick. Personal foul. Number 40 on the defense. That penalty will be added to the kick. 15-yard penalty on the receiving team.
All right. Thank you so much, Kelly. Now with 2:34, the Monterey Plainsmen are about to be kicking the ball off to the Abilene High Eagles.
Monterey coming back onto the field. That was a huge win. Let's see if they can keep that momentum and bring something a little bit closer that they may not have been able to bring in the first 3 quarters.
So when you start having positives on one side of the ball, right, a lot of times you start seeing it kind of bleed over to the other side of the ball. The defensive guy sees that the offense just went out there and had a good drive. And, of course, vice versa, right? If the defense does something good, the offense can kind of feed off of it. And so, like you said, right, those little wins can add up to maybe can the defense do something here with 2:34 to go.
There's a huge push in the sail once there's enough wins that build up. And we're kind of seeing that now with the offense getting an amazing touchdown. Cash Lewis again redeeming himself for something that he may not have been able to do previously. It slipped in and out of his hands, and then he caught that and he tugged that one tight. He made sure he pulled that one close to the body.
Yeah, he did. You have a whole arsenal of like solid cliches, man. I need to like pick your brain one day and see if I can just steal a slew of them from you. As he sits there and smiles. It's true, man. You've had a lot of good stuff, a lot of cool little sayings tonight. It's been fun to hear you.
Well, hopefully I'm up here more and I get to reveal to the world a little bit more and a little bit more what I get to say. We have 263 people watching right now. Thank you so much with 31 likes. Make sure to like and subscribe to get us on the algorithm so more people in your area and in the Lubbock area and the greater Texas Plains have the opportunity to see what we're doing here and point out our amazing AV program.
Yeah, the algorithm, it's a thing, and only one person on YouTube has mastered the algorithm, and it's Mr. Beast. But outside of that, right, the algorithm's so confusing to me, but I do understand that likes and shares and subscriptions can mean something. So Jonas just celebrated right there. Gio Cardenas, of course, he has a great leg on him. He kicked that one through the uprights, and if only that was worth any points, it would have been really awesome for the Plainsmen, but it's just bragging rights for Gio coming next week, right?
It is, and we really see an improvement in Gio because he came in from Friendship fumbling the kick, fumbling the game-winning field goal, and he just came in and he sent that thing right through the goal. And that's a huge improvement, and we wonder what the coaches are working on with pressure right there.
I think Gio has been a really good kicker for this program for a long time, and Gio Cardenas, Yael Ontiveros with Lubbock High, those are some names that just really stand out to me that have been staples on these teams for majority of their high school careers, have been on varsity. McGee here on first down. Great run there by the senior. One play, moved the chains, Abilene High.
Quite a few yards gained, and then just ran barely out of bounds. But again, great play from the Abilene Eagles.
Yeah, I'm looking at this instant replay here. It's the blocking downfield. It's the commitment from the guys trying to push the defenders back, the receivers downfield blocking. It's the other 10 guys that we don't ever talk about. They needed some credit on that play because they were the reason why McGee was able to get what he was. So 1st and 10, 2:27 to go. In the pistol formation, Henry back in at quarterback as McGee stiffs arms the defender and just gets pushed backwards. He's going to stay in bounds, and so the clock will keep running, but it's going to be a loss on the play.
That was a great push from the Plainsmen defensive. We saw some serious offense used for defense, and they kept pushing back, and they gained enough yards even though the clock was ticking. I felt like in the long run that might have been a worthwhile play, and that they used their time pretty well gaining back those yards that they just lost in the previous play.
So here we are, 2nd and 12. Minute 52, and I think this is the time of the game, Jonas, where we start seeing them just letting the play clock play out, right? Henry still back in at quarterback. McGee directly behind him in the pistol.
The Eagles really want to keep the time lead they have on here, so they're trying to burn as much time as possible. And the Plainsmen, we just see them using that offense to keep that clock from ticking down so they have another fighting chance. And we can really see that touchdown coming into play in terms of the wind and in terms of the mental side for the players. And they're really just doing a lot. And it's incredible to watch them start doing something that we had not seen the rest of the game.
They're starting to make stops on defense, and like you said earlier, they started finding some wins in the little things, right? The little details. They're winning those little things here in the 4th quarter. I'm thinking right now the Eagles are just going to try to run out the clock and end this ball game so they can get back to Abilene 1-0 in district play, right? It's 59-14. The good guys from 50th Street, right? They're battling for positives come film study right now as McGee gets tackled, and he has gets stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a Monterey Plainsman tackling him low. He'll gain a few as he leans forward. I'm loving the fight that this Monterey team has, though, down this final stretch. It would have been easy to start thinking about loading up the bus, right? It would have been easy to just fold in and cave, but these guys have been fighting in this 4th quarter. They've had a never-quit attitude so far, and that's what I've loved to see from this Monterey team because they were down 49-7 at halftime. It's 59-14, right? So they were outscored by 3 in the second half, and it feels like even though the scoreboard says something, it feels like a different ball game here in the second half.
They're just keep fighting, and that's something that you just love to see from any team.
And that's
is the
what
fact
any
that they
coach
won't
likes to
give
see.
up down to the very last point, the very last second, the last ball caught, and it's all very important.
All right, and now it's all over. 59-14 is the final score here tonight. The Abilene High Eagles come to town, and they showed that they want to be state ranked again, right? They were ranked highly in the state in Class 5A D1, and they went 0-2 the last 2 weeks against top-tier 6A programs, and they wanted to show that that's not the team that they are, right? They're a winning team, and they have high goals and a high projection for this year, and they came out and balled out.
they really proved, again, on that point of them wanting to be state ranked again, they proved why they were state ranked.
Yep.
And they just really kept pushing it. It's incredible to watch these people and watch these athletes and all the people working behind, just doing everything that they can. It's
been a fun game to watch.
Yeah,
it was a fun game to watch. The Eagles came in and their offense is electric and their defense came out and just balled out. 59-14, the final score one last time. Abilene High is going to be leaving Lubbock 1-0 in district play. They're now 3-2 on the season, and they're primed for a great district run. I'm excited to continue to watch them soar on this season. Monterey looks to bounce back next week, and we're looking forward to seeing them get back after it. But until next time, we hope you guys stay happy and healthy, and as always, go Lubbock ISD, and we'll see y'all next week.
This has been a production of the students and staff at Lubbock ISD TV.